There we go.
You're live.
We're live, and we'll just watch to see how the viewers stack up there and make sure I'm, I don't know.
So when you're on patrol, what do you do?
I just run in on calls.
Okay.
You know, I'm just going to make sure
Now,
that...
you just cover in Ramsey County Sheriff calls, or just what?
No,
anything you come across?
I go where the activity is.
Okay.
You know, and most of that activity is in St. Paul,
Right.
obviously. So we're getting, people are starting
people
to
are
log
popping
on.
up.
So,
Grab a photo of that.
for those of you who are logging on, we have some interest from the Pioneer Press newspaper, and they were interested in how the technology works. So right now they're taking pictures of the phone with some of your comments. Feel free to
Keep it PG.
throw some comments to the Pioneer Press. I still call them Pioneer Press, although apparently it's, by everybody else's account, it's Twin City Live, no? Or TwinCity.com.
I say Pioneer
Pioneer,
Press.
yeah. Remember, there used to be the Dispatch, too.
Yeah, that was the morning, or that was the afternoon paper.
The afternoon paper. Used to be two separate papers. St. Paul Pioneer Press and the St. Paul Dispatch.
She didn't know where she was.
And
something about a male touching her, and then the line disconnected. We're unable to do it.
in the 70s and 80s. So we've had a couple carjackings here. Well, one carjacking with a silver Silverado that we're looking for, and then we got another car that one of our frequent carjackings and robbers is in, a white Pontiac Charlie Bravo X-ray 534. It's a 2009 white Pontiac. We'll be looking for him today. Fled from the police here fled from the police a little while ago. So, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your interest.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so we're off.
Number 24 on a customer pickup.
Off at the state capitol. Been actually relatively busy here this afternoon for the last hour. So I'm going to work solo for a little bit, and then later on I'm going to pick up a guest rider. Up behind the Capitol right now. Actually, I don't know if you've been in the new Senate office building, but did a very nice job on the new building. It's Bethesda Hospital, and actually Bethesda was one of the COVID hospitals here that ramped up to service all the intensive care people.
44, 45 clear vest.
There's another shot of the backside of the Capitol, actually. And here's the new Minnesota Senate building around the back side of it. But gorgeous building. We're going to head down University Avenue. Got a lot of requests to hit some more on Maryland Avenue tonight.
271.
Cleared you away with 612.
1770.
One of my favorite banks, Affinity National Credit Union.
8290.
Now, for those of you that are
2050 Silver Lake at Spectacle Shop for an alarm that covers vintage door, unknown if it's audible or silent.
For those of you that are new, just a little quick orientation. I know it's redundant for many of you, but there's 6 frequencies that 6 frequencies. There's a guy waving to me. He says he's monitoring it. Bryson Sherburne. 6 frequencies 3 in St. Paul. Channel 1 is the Western District, which is essentially Western.
215 County Road F Frank, assisting medics.
And everything west of that. Channel 2 is Central, which is the Rice Street corridor and the west side and downtown. And Channel 3 is the east side of St. Paul. So we try to stay on the frequency that we're in, but we scan the other ones. So if
2268, 2364, it looks like there might be a dog there that's waiting.
Like right now, you're hearing the radio from the suburbs, but that's because there's no transmission at the moment on Channel 2 in St. Paul. And then the suburban areas have three frequencies as well. So the Western District is New Brighton, Mounds View, Roseville. Central is the Sheriff's Office that patrols the central area. And then the east is Maplewood, North St. Paul, and White Bear Lake. A lot of times those channels are merged because they may not need a channel for each individual area. So we're going up Rice Street right now. A little different to be out here when it's daylight. This is the Sheriff's Office substation here at the corner of Rice and Sycamore, where we do community outreach into different diverse cultures, and also try to make sure that we keep crime suppressed on Payne Avenue. It's been a little different with COVID, but we try to get out on the bikes. We have electric bikes that the deputies use.
Negative.
To keep Rice Street safe. Now there was some shots fired here just on Winnipeg here recently. It's gonna roll down Winnipeg, Winnipeg and Manitoba. Not too busy right here, but this is normally, and as the sun goes down, this will be one of our busier areas again tonight. We haven't shot the video much during the daylight hours, so I'm hoping it looks good. They did recover a casing here on Manitoba the other day. Saw a bunch of cars squealing away. We're very lucky that more people don't actually get physically shot. So, coming westbound of Manitoba up on Rice Street.
366.
366.
And there's Bourne Spire, of course.
I'll take Hoyt. I can advise if I need assistance.
Copy. 1720.
So again, all the air traffic that you're hearing is on the main channels, and frankly, if you had a scanner of your own, you can monitor it. It's all technically in the public domain. So anything you hear, we're not. There are some departments going to encryption. Hennepin County is doing that now. Minneapolis is not, but Ramsey County has no plans to go to encryption. There's probably 8,000 to 9,000 members on the police and fire scanner page. I'm sure they would be disappointed, and while it might be an insurrection, even more importantly is that people have a right to know what's going on. It's the best, most reliable information is, the calls that you're hearing on the radio.
29.
876.
876.
I could have the CN over the air, and then we'll be clear. Advise.
876. Your CN is 166338.
Thank you.
1020. Location for this man down.
So I have extra radios in here. I actually have, besides this car radio that you're listening to, I have 3 pack sets.
172. 175.
You know, depending on the time, one pack set is scanning all the St. Paul frequencies, and one is scanning the suburban frequencies.
867 Hague, apartment number 1. Requested a welfare check on their daughter. Had sent a message this morning saying that she needed help. Has a history of physical abuse with a boyfriend.
Then the last one sometimes I use for
37-year-old black male, 5'9", athletic build.
State Patrol, Minneapolis. You know, we have a common border with Minneapolis, so let's hopefully we can sneak. Yeah, that wasn't too good of an idea.
1723.
State Patrol and the Minneapolis have some common areas. Metropolitan Transit too, the people that help patrol our transit routes. I just got a little. So we're westbound on Maryland. It's kind of nice to be able to see something here in the daylight.
Spot 273.
273.
Can you start towards 150 Case Avenue to assist 684 with their unoccupied St. Paul stolen?
I'm going to make a call here to one of our analysts.
Copy.
Call Emmerich.
There were 0 contacts with. There is no work number for Emmerich. Would you like to call their other number?
Yes.
Copy.
Emmerich stands for East Metro Real-Time Information Center.
Calling Emmerich other. To end the call, press the phone hang-up button on the steering wheel.
So that's how I have it coded into my phone. Our analysts work every night live from 4 to 2 to be able to help us. She's probably shy.
Maybe 297, right?
1725.
Call Kelly Emmerich.
Calling Kelly Emmerich.
If we get any more calls, he's a private investigator. You can clear me a system.
Spot 929.
Scratch, 532.
Hello?
Hey Kelly, it's Bob, but just also you're on live on Facebook. Hey,
hi, Facebook people.
Hey, protest on 94. Tell me what we got. Do you know what group that is?
I do not. I'm still trying to find the information. The only view that we can see anything is on from the camera here on top of the building, and it's back behind it. So, but it's all backed up.
The door notice was unlocked.
But anyhow, the State Patrol advised you that there's a protest on 94. Are they shutting down the freeway then, or what's the plan?
Well, it looks like they're blocking. St. Paul's blocking the exits around here, so no one can get off.
There's
you
one
can't
back
get off.
All right. Hey,
But that's all I know. Yeah, I haven't been able to find anything yet.
send me anything you find. Thanks.
I will.
Thank you. Say goodbye to
Yeah.
say goodbye to your Facebook friends.
Or just recent. Perfect. 3, I can if you don't have anyone.
So we're southbound on Dale Street.
188.
Just had a notice at the beginning of the shift that there's a
188.
big protest down on 94
Advise me, can you
Hamlin.
put us on they call off, Roy?
I think it's completely peaceful, but
I believe it's a DOC.
if you're driving in that area, just be.
Roy.
Copy 425 Roy at 1727.
And caller has been drinking. Unknown if they're going to be.
Yeah, for those of you who knew, this was my original district down here. It was the old A1 precinct. Dale and University, Dale, Minnehaha.
366.
Toner's Bar and Grill there up on Minnehaha and Dale.
Delay, thank you.
1720.
Down here in the corner was the Belmont,
This will be advised.
the Flick Theater, the Faust Theater. Years ago, that's was a lot of prevalent prostitution on Dale and University.
Additional with 378 and 1528.
Christian Washington. All Ramsey County felony warrants is on the light rail right now. We're going to have to make contact here.
I copy. You're telling me to make contact with the Christian Washington US4 Ramsey County felony warrants and the parties on the light rail. Do you need the air?
Here. Or the train.
Copy. Are you still near 5th and Sibley then?
Well, we're on the 4th and Sibley here. On the light rail platform.
Copy.
So it's Metro Transit is trying to arrest a party that's on the train downtown at 5th and Sibley.
arriving.
If it was up here, we'd
1729.
somewhere on Uni, we'd certainly run in on the call. But we're out here on University Avenue. This Hickory Hut used to be the Clark's Submarine Sandwich. I don't know if any of you remember that. Don Evans and I forget Clark's full name, started that original sandwich shop there before the subway. It was awesome business. I don't know if anybody knows Donnie Evans, but he
2201.
used to jog around Como. When I was working midnights, I'd run into him all the time.
So I can try logging back on.
Where's it?
532.
532, you cut out.
279, I'm just down the block. Send me that.
Copy.
7-1 divert.
Something like a little problem down there on
612, get some of that.
Copy.
Where are you guys?
Middle train.
Just keep the air clear to make sure they're okay.
279, I'm down here. Where are they?
537, they're on the train car, right where you guys parked your squad. See if Metro Train's got anybody in the area.
Copy.
32, we're code 401 in custody.
Copy. Code 41 in custody.
Now that is a good sound when you hear somebody yell code 4. That means everything's calm.
All right, sounds good, thank you.
One in custody.
You're welcome. 1731.
That code 4 tells you that they've got handcuffs on them. There's no resistance at that point and no need for backup.
Checking channel 3 for anybody from Coast.
Sometimes you're going to hear,
279.
we're code 4
279.
for now. It means it could go down here.
Code 4 here. Another squad can slow. This man's in custody.
Copy. Code 4. Other squads can slow.
Now that transmission is on St. Paul's Channel 2. Now we're out in the 1 district in the west, so
1732.
we're going to make sure we monitor number 1 primarily. It's not unusual for officers to have two radios on at the same time to cover some different frequencies.
Any available Coast units?
Coast is a unit that
Negative response.
can
1732.
respond to mental health issues. And it's a great concept
699.
pairing up some police officers with people that have expertise.
Get you 296.
There are
Here's the
so much of our problems out here are
699.
mental health related.
The vehicle's moved. You can show clear.
Chemical addiction related is
Copy.
the other common denominator.
1732. Is there a squad with any leg restraints?
5-3 is logged in, working something downtown at 4th and Sibley. I can check when they're clear.
Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you, though.
Welcome to 1733.
Copy. I'm putting in some candles quick and then we'll head over there.
Copy with 4th and Sibley. Good.
PPV 1582 cottage.
$1733.
I'm going to make a phone call
174.
to one of our Somali liaisons.
174.
Had crime damage complaint occurred at 643 Sherburne. Caller says that a friend named Kaylee ran into his car on
He's
purpose.
been working with the
Left eastbound on foot.
Somali and Oromo community on some of the Oromo protests against the Ethiopian government's treatment of the Oromo. If you ever happen to open a map of East Africa, you'll see that
Copy, thank you.
Ethiopia and Somalia are, close to each other, abut each other, and there's a land in between there
Squad 207.
that called the Ogaden region of Ethiopia.
We
That
still have this AMA pending.
hang on one second. Hello.
Hey Bob, it's Jamie and Red. How's it? How
Hey,
are ya?
Jamie, good. Can I call you back? I'm in the middle of another thing. Can I give you a ring?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, you never know if that's an important call. So, but anyhow, the Oromo are one ethnicity of Ethiopia. Some people would refer to them as a tribe, but they have a large percentage of southern Ethiopia that they occupy, and then the Somalis actually have a big part of Ethiopia as well. And actually, back in the 70s and 80s, Ethiopia and Somalia had two wars to fight over the control of what's called the Ogaden region. And so some of those hurt feelings and problems are still here. So we've had a number of protests in the Oromo community here about the way the Ethiopian government, and there was a death of one of the Oromo leaders. So I'm just down here at St. Anthony and Hamlin, just take a peek, see if we can find if the roads are blocked off or not. Might be kind of interesting. Well, it looks like it's all cleared up now. But blocking 94 has been becoming pretty standard in protest techniques, and actually it's very inconvenient for the people on the highway, but in the light of some of the people that end up vandalizing things, from our perspective, we know that at least our property is going to be safe because there isn't anything to vandalize. Yeah, every protest has a small percentage of people that would like to take it to a new level. Back to Lexington. You know, I mentioned that in fighting crime, it's a three-pronged approach: prevention, intervention, and suppression. And, you know, clearly some of the most violent leaders in these groups need to go to jail, but a lot of these kids that are searching for some socialization, you know, their hearts, souls, and minds can be won if we do the right thing on prevention plans. So I'm going to post on Facebook a GoFundMe request sometime in the next 24 hours for a guy that's Demontria Davis. You can check it out on my wife's Facebook page. I haven't posted it yet, but he does an awesome job at helping kids play basketball and learn social skills and some structure, and just been one of the heroes of our community. So he's taking a group to the championships. His teams are so great; they're always in the championships, but it's out of town, and they need to raise some money to actually bring them to their basketball. And so when I post that, just be aware it's one of those programs that helps us make a difference. And the other one is Mickey Frost. So that arrest, by the way, that arrest downtown, they're asking for the deputies from the jail to meet them. But this on the right here is the Truth Center that Mickey Frost runs. He's taking another group of kids on a field trip to Washington, D.C. So there's a lot of things going on, but honestly, there's not a lot of funding for any of these programs, especially during COVID.
531 around to the LEC.
1739.
We're at Lex and Selby.
175.
East on Selby.
Copy, copy.
1739.
Be around to the LEC as well.
Copy.
A lot of good outreach work here. In the old days, David Pettiford lived right up here in an office up here, did some great work. Melvin Carter Jr., the mayor's dad. The mayor's dad ran a program up here, SOS, and actually I worked with the mayor's dad in 1977, 78. He was one of my trainers. Trained me in over on the east side.
534.
And very nice man, good heart.
I'm code 4 out here with Dwayne. You can cancel the other car. I'll take care of it.
279, you can clear.
You know, the other group that's doing some great work with kids is the Santa Foundation. And, you know, unbelievable the outreach that they have. Corner here by Jay Selby's.
Copy.
Yeah, as the night goes on, we'll stop and visit with people. I like to make a tour, kind of get the feel on the ground as to who's out and what's going on.
We're the 4th and Sibley call. Can you put us on a detail and location, 4th and Sibley?
Copy.
Four 532.
522.
Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church.
Unassign us, so we gotta log in with the correct squad number.
The laundry doctor.
This is a copy of advice on the welfare check.
Dry cleaning
United
and
Hospital for a
laundry have been there
16-year-old who left
for years.
hospital 7 minutes ago who was suicidal earlier at 1742.
160, I see a message.
Received.
One nice thing about a little earlier, you can see stuff a little better. I don't know if for those of you that haven't been down to Selby, it's been some great remodeling over the years.
We're code 4.
I mentioned before, George Latimer really deserves credit for his efforts to remodel this area.
What's your ETA to the LAC?
I am going to do sort of a special on the homelessness situation at some point. And I think the community needs to let our leaders know that we expect a little more.
453, could I have 262 to 4, please?
It's a nationwide problem, of course, but we're better than we are. We should be better than we are here in Minnesota. You know, it's one thing in July and August to be having hundreds of people living in tents out here, but it's another thing to have that continue on through the winter time. We ought to be able to find some type of location structure that we can assure people are going to have warmth. We know where they're going to be. We can provide some level of safety and food as well. And we're not on path for that. I have to tell you, I'm part of a lot of discussions, and I'm just continually amazed at the finger pointing that goes on between state, county, and city officials as to whose job is what. And it probably, I mean, you could anybody could seize leadership and just say this is where we're going. You know, I'm confident that a strong leader can solve the problem, find the money. The money is out there right now, but it's arguing over whose responsibility and whose money it is that causes the problem. So I'm going to drive down a little bit. I know, those of you that were with me the other night, you know that we took a little tour when it was dark. We did get Teresa a tent.
You put me on a PPV and your 951 ping.
Other amenities so that she wasn't forced to sleep with somebody else. And that, of course, is one of the huge problems with the homeless situation is women become victimized. And even without that component, which of course is the most horrific piece of the puzzle, there's generally no place to use a bathroom, no clean water to get showered, not even water, period. And it's not a complex. I don't know if you noticed, in Seattle they started building mini houses, give people their own small structure. It's small, but and they have joint facilities then for showers. But I know you could put together groups that could help build those houses in a heartbeat. And you'd have to put it somewhere that the public could accept the fact that we're going to help people have some housing. But actually the Seattle City Council 2 days ago recommended cutting the homeless outreach efforts of the Seattle Police Department. If you haven't watched what's been going on in Seattle, I mean, they tried to, some advocates wanted to cut them by 50%. Some they cut them by 15%. They ended up cutting them by about 4%, and then they cut the chief's salary because the chief was being pretty direct about how we need to deal with the protests. Cut her salary by 40%. She resigned. But
I copying out to the welfare check / area check 12th and Jackson.
These are the kind of stories playing out around the country.
Caged inside. I've got state checking as well.
The debate isn't unlike what's happening in Minneapolis, but when they start cutting homeless outreach just for the sake of cutting, then
I'd expect my way to 340 feeder instead of another 7-year-old male with
so we'll start by touring through here a little bit. It's a tough life down here, and I gotta tell you, spending 45 minutes alone here changes your perspective. What's going on? Hey, by the way, if you haven't shared this video, I mean, a lot of people don't get notified. If you wouldn't mind, just, I know it's been a little quiet so far. Of course, it's going to pick up. If you wouldn't mind sharing this video with your friends, and the number to call if you want to text me is 651-448-3810. 448-3810. 651-448-3810. So, but love to have you share with other people. We get a lot of people said make sure we're notified. So, but we don't. I can't approve all the friend requests, so they are notified. I guess we just started allowing people to follow, but the best way is if you can share. So here we're at Old Kellogg and 35, and there is a walking path. You saw some people walking, so you can count the tents there. If I'm counting, oh, it's going way down there, but yeah, I don't know. There's another 25 tents to our right. 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. That's the freeway entrance ramp right there. 32, 33, 34. I'd like to come down and let people know that we're here to provide a level of safety. How's it going tonight? Good. How was that rain? The rain?
Well, my tent is, I have a bunch of car programs, so, you know, I mean...
Well, which one's yours? Is that a fourplex you got going there?
No, that's just, well, we have our, like, own little security because people have been being really weird, but I use that as, like, a little watch security. I got my storage, you know.
That's cool.
Mine, and that's just neighbors that she always gets her tent broken into, so I can watch it.
Well, that's kind of, now when you say we have crime issues or security issues, what's the biggest problem down here?
Like, a lot of people just be creeping around, mainly in the woods, you know, trying to break in the tent, steal people's stuff. There's been a couple reports of, you know, women being stalked outside their tents.
I heard that, yeah. That's never acceptable. I just, you know, do they call the police when they get attacked, the women, or do they?
Yeah.
Do they? Okay. I mean, it's great that you're supporting them. You know.
Yeah, I don't
What's your first name?
Eric.
Eric, where are you from originally?
St. Paul.
St. Paul. Did you go to high school here or school?
Yep, Como.
Como? Oh, did you know
no,
Roy?
Como.
Did you know Roy Magnuson? He was a teacher there, social studies teacher. Roy Magnuson. He coached football too. Football.
I was a basketball player.
Oh, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vern Simmons was a friend of mine. He coached basketball at Johnson. They were pretty good back then. Did you know? Yeah.
Yeah, my dad went to Johnson. He was a wrestler.
Oh, he was?
Couldn't do it. He tried to get me into wrestling. As soon as I put on that outfit, all right, have a good one. After I put on that outfit, I was like, can't do it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I actually ended up wrestling. I was a hockey player, but then the football coach said wrestling would be better for you. He talked me into wrestling. I regretted it my whole life.
Do that.
Huh?
Football coaches do that.
Yeah, they don't want. They're afraid that you're gonna. How's it going?
Hi.
How are you? What's that? A little kitty?
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, thank you. Thanks for visiting. Thanks a lot. You guys seen Teresa at all? You know Teresa? She down here? Well, just if you, Teresa, she was down here. We helped her get a tent last week. Yeah. All right. Hey, you guys, take care.
You're not too old. I don't know why they nice vehicle.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Are they nice? Can I look?
Yeah, there ain't much to it. What do you got, 5 tents over there now, or what? That's nice of you. Who's like in charge? Does somebody, the head of security, I mean, is there informal security? Is somebody kind of in charge of keeping the peace down here?
Everybody is.
Everybody? You guys usually walk down to Dorothy Day to eat, or to, I know we.
They feed us.
Yeah, we deliver some food. Do you?
I go to a food shelf.
Food shelf. Which food shelf do you go to? Oh, you do. Smart. That's good. All right. Well, what's your plan before winter?
Well, hopefully get into college, you know, and use some of the college money to get into an apartment. But other than that, I was in the tent last winter.
Yeah.
I had Mr. Buddy heater and a big old propane tank in my tent. I was in my tent in the middle of winter in my lab suit.
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you don't have to spend another winter in the tent.
Right.
Hey, thanks for smiling and thanks for talking. You guys, see you later.
Hey, have a good one.
What's the kitty's name?
Loki.
Loki? Like the movie? Like the Avengers Loki?
Yeah.
The Avengers Loki. I like it. So obviously there's more and more tents. They're getting a little colder. They get more tarps on top here. Yeah, if you send your information to that number 651-448-3810, we have a team of people that help the homeless. We can certainly arrange for you to drop some stuff off. It's not impossible just to come down here by yourself during the daylight. It's relatively safe, but we'd be glad to pick that stuff up. Okay. Back downtown. A couple other spots. There's about 8 spots that have become, large locations for the homeless. You saw there. I mean, that's probably the largest that we have. And then Shepherd Road and Warner Road down below it's growing so fast, equal number of tents. Anyhow, I want you to imagine what it's going to be like in winter. That blowing wind, that fence that they built that's along the freeway. When the wind comes through there, the other day when I was there, it's just unbelievable how much that blows. And the blowing snow could be. So I honestly don't. I mean, if I was in charge of this project, I'd find 1 or 2 buildings that are located in an area that they can get to some resources, or find some space and build a significant structure of some sort. When I'm talking about a tent structure, at least where people can have safety, security from the wind, and allow them to have some semi-heated space. It has to be, with all the money that's coming in right now, it has to be doable. Kellogg Park down here is another place that has become very prevalent. The city was thinking about making this an official location and then decided not to. They're always struggling. Do you ask people to move? Do you not? So there's a few tents over there to the right. Like I said before we go down there, if you don't mind sharing this so people know how to find the link, that would be awesome. The whole goal here is to let you see what's happening in the community, so you have some first-hand information, but also let you see how officers handle the calls, the types of calls they have to handle, and get to see it through their eyes that they're not often having to use force to apprehend people. It does happen, but there's just many different tools in their tool belt. So here's the tent encampment to our right here. Probably can't see it. Run down on Shepherd Road, and a lot of these tents are on the lower landing, so you can't really see them. Every spring we get some flooding down here, and my dad, as I mentioned, my dad worked for the Corps of Engineers in this building right next here, and so it didn't really threaten
4495 clear course.
Didn't really threaten people's livelihood, but we're always building dikes down here to protect what we can.
Report Central.
If you go look at some of these bridges, you'll be able to see how high the water was in the past. The sheriff's office boat does patrol Mississippi River, and so we're constantly on the water patrolling. We lost 2 people on the river this year. I think I mentioned that earlier, and that got swept away with the currents. One was a child. The river can be obviously a dangerous place, but it's a beautiful place too. Hidden Falls, Crosby Lake, just gorgeous.
Is there a spot able to break to the 1305 Prosperity for an alarm? Per the video, 3 juveniles inside.
Across the river there, you can't maybe see it, but it says 1965. That's one of the highest flood marks. And the levee is built for like 2 to 3 feet above that mark on the other side, but it still flows up here. So Shepherd Road, a beautiful running park. Just gonna see, this is one of our encampments down here. This one's been growing lately, but right now it's not too big. But ten to 12 tents down here. Probably grow
4334.
Grow in size as the year this goes on.
5
So we're on Warner Road. We haven't been down here in our tours yet.
Medics with 538 and 279.
Sometime tonight I might take you on the railroad tracks. I think I might try to do that in a little bit here and show you.
And an update that the juveniles left out door number 12.
Show you what's behind all the roads in St. Paul. Mounds Park.
We just been on scene, but you can cancel the female event.
Bluffs right there, right ahead of us.
Thank you. You can send me a 240.
The barges bringing resources up and down the river.
640, do you have a district?
240 stood for male yelling and swearing in the alley behind the building. 58, are you able to back?
En route.
Copy, thanks.
You're welcome, 1802.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The train industry, of course, was key to St. Paul's development. I mean, there's 2 driving forces, of course, the river, the location of the river, and the development of Fort Snelling during the early trading years. St. Paul was originally known as Pig's Eye, after a gentleman named Pig's Eye Perrant, and they eventually obviously named it
524, both squads are
after St. Paul, but could have just as well ended up being called Big's Eye Parent.
Should be on scene.
I think we're probably lucky they chose
Copy.
St. Paul.
1803.
So, but obviously the early traders were using Fort Snelling, using the river. It was Fort Snelling is at the junction of the Minnesota and the Mississippi River, provided some safety here. And then later on, Mr. Hill, James Hill, started building railroads that would connect St. Paul to the rest of the world, the rest of the country. And the shipping of along the railroad and the barges on the river drove a lot of our industry. And of course, in time,
It's going to start to 198 Oak Grove.
cars were developed and semis were developed. But you'll see this train on the right here.
44, Savannah, could you do the same for me, please? Thank you.
Will do. Have a good day, 1803.
This track here, we're gonna drive down on that track and show you some of the underbelly of the city. You never know that you can actually drive on a railroad track, alongside a railroad track from downtown St. Paul all the way to downtown Minneapolis without really hitting a stop sign, because they go underneath the bridges that the city's built on. Coming back in on Warner Road into downtown St. Paul.
You generate a CBD at Raspberry Island.
You can kind of see Galtier Plaza there ahead of us in the distance, and the First National Bank. Galtier Plaza used to have a movie theater there when it first opened. In the 90s, in the late 90s. It's our last downtown movie theater. Of course, there were several others in the
175.
along
175.
Wabasha back
Clarify, same as opinion.
in the 70s. So we'll go up Sibley. We're getting off on Sibley, gonna go up by Mears Park. Again, we're gonna go right by the Union Depot.
1243 Edmond. In the alley, walking through people's yards, male and female arguing. Female saying that the male hit her and is harassing her. Boy, female, yellow shirt. Black male, red shirt, red hat. Sounds like it's related to that 911 hang up at 1240 Thomas with an open line. Someone crying in the background.
Copy and route.
1806.
We're gonna head back to the office. We're gonna pick up our rider. Pat Scott's gonna join us again here in 10 minutes. I know.
Information to Central Squad on a motor vehicle theft. That was taken in the last 15 minutes from St. Paul Children's Hospital. There's a license, Mike Kilo, uniform 019. It's Convexa Green, accurate MDX 1806.
Mike Kilo uniform 019, a green Acura, was just taken from Children's Hospital. I'm not very good at the car models, but I'm probably pretty good at the color. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Yes, sir. I'm live right now, so. Yeah. I'll make it work. Bye.
Six 684. Can you show me en route to the impound lot with the key?
Starting to rain. I thought it was going to clear up for the night here. getting cool out there too. Certainly one of the cooler evenings we've had.
188, what's your 20?
So right now on the CAD, remember CAD stands for Computer Aided Dispatch.
188.
And
188.
161 is looking for an ETA.
We're at Lex and Thomas now.
on the CAD, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14. There's 14 calls stacked up in there, and granted, they may not be the most serious calls, but 14 calls of people calling. There's a hit and run accident, two hit and run accidents that people are calling, and squads are not available to go out. There's a criminal damage to property, someone calling on a drunk person, 2 stolen cars, motor vehicle thefts. People had their cars stolen, and there's no squad available to go out and take those. There's a theft report, a suspicious activity, some recovered property. But just to let you know, I mean, a lot of officers' time is writing reports. They have to write detailed reports, and it does take some time.
You can clear medics.
So they're out right now on
is that clear them from the scene or clear them in?
Variety of calls, and of course, if a serious call comes up, then those other calls just hold. So when I stop here, I'm just going to give you an idea of how long calls pen. But
5453, can you clarify, are they cleared in or are their services no longer needed?
When your car gets stolen, you'd like to
You
think
can clear
that
them. We do not need them.
we're going to get there in timely fashion so that we have a higher likelihood of catching it before the car's damaged or gone. So
Back at St. Paul Yacht, clear the call. And 2415 is clear as well.
Copy.
2401 is Commander Eric Brott from our water patrol unit. He's either on White Bear Lake or the river usually. And last week we had a crash where some kids on a Sea Ray, 18.5-foot Sea Ray, struck a woman that was on a small whaler boat, helping with the sailing, the White Bear sailing. So, you know, we've had, as you heard Jeremy Bolin talk last week, we've had more water-related rescues. Part of it is that there's been more people out on the lake.
Your CN for Borns was 166 366.
More people out on the lake.
Copy, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just because COVID has closed so many things down.
Copy, and are you code 4?
Yeah.
Copy, thanks. 1811.
So, there's Pat Scott right over there. There he is.
Six.
You can send those Sierra motor vehicle theft in the area.
I'm copying her out to Children's Hospital for the motor vehicle theft report 1812.
It's good to have a partner. A little safer as we go on here.
You're welcome, 1812.
Pat's going to jump in the car. I'm going to run in and use the restroom real quick. It won't be but a minute. We're right by the back door, and then we'll be on our way again. So stand by to stand by. Since it's raining, I'm gonna wait. Definitely starting to rain here, a little downburst.
Squad 286, I'm not sure if you copied this update, but it appears your vehicle...
What's going on, Pat Scott?
Sure.
How's it going?
I'm good.
After you get in, I'm going to have you say hi to the viewers. I'm going to go run and use the restroom here.
Okay. One sec here.
Yep. It's starting to rain.
Yeah. My rain jacket back?
It is. It is.
Wonderful.
There, just want to make sure that the party was okay.
Need yours?
No, I'm good. Hop in. I'm counting on it only being a sun shower there, Pat. So.
Well, when that happens,
Yeah.
my experience has been it gets busy if it's just a brief sun shower.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm going to use a little leverage. I'm going to run in and use the restroom. And
I'll be right here.
feel free to visit. Tell them.
All right.
Tell them what you know.
Well, I was just talking about if it's just a brief rain shower, it often gets busy, which reminds me of when I was working with Bill Gillette, who I graduated from the academy with. We were in the academy from 79 to 80. And we were working together, maybe a year later. And it was raining real lightly. And I'd been a policeman in Texas before, and I told him that it was my experience that if there was just a real light rain and it stopped, that it invariably got busy. Within about 30 seconds of those words coming out of my mouth, the rain stopped, and we got an alarm call up in the industrial area off of Wabash, basically way out towards the city limits off of University Avenue. Well, we pulled up to the alarm call, and as we pulled up, some longtime career burglar came crashing out the window and basically into our arms. And that was a little memorable arrest for Bill Gillette and I. I hope this is just a short rain shower here. I see the sun poking out to the west, but it is coming down pretty hard right now. I wasn't able to listen at all before I got in, so I have no idea how busy it has been since before I got here.
It's a little more than a sun shower.
That's, yeah, a bit more. I was just talking about that.
Yeah. This is why it's good to have a partner, because if you have to get out, your partner will volunteer. All right, we are going to go over to the east side now for a while. Go up Maryland.
2316. You call from the
And look for that stolen that I was talking about that's out there roaming around. So just a reminder, we got one of our gang members that white Pontiac 2009.
EBT card from a friend who lives in the building next door.
Charlie X-Ray Bravo
Right now,
534. The St. Paul cars lost them earlier today. And you know, I know, actually we have had a few gang members posting on here. We know they're listening, so if you guys are listening, everybody's looking for you. And
Happy 443 Fillmore and your code 40.
If you want to make an appearance on camera, you could come surrender to us.
yeah, surrender. That would be good.
Do the right thing. Give yourself up for your crime.
I'm just going to take a look at these pending calls real quick. I know some people have been texting me to say how long do they have to wait for their calls. So, like the hit and runs, there's an example. One of them was called in. Well, the elapsed time is, see, one is, I can't get this to go further. A little technological issues here.
You're at 1582 Cottage on follow over.
It's got to hit the buttons harder, I guess.
I guess this rain is supposed to stop here fairly soon. And I just remembered I was supposed to bring you some egg rolls, and I forgot them at home.
That's all right.
I got a friend of mine who's going to be mad at me.
So here we just, I have to open up this whole call rather than just hope I could have it, but it's weird. Pat and I aren't the experts with this CAD, but so that one fortunately just came in 10 minutes ago.
179.
One's been here in the queue for an hour.
Can you send me 164's call? I'll call the other part from the bathroom.
527, accident hit and run. It's been in hold. Someone's been waiting for squad to respond. I'm not going to mention which cities, it really doesn't matter. See, here's a stranger at the address refusing to leave. Just knocking on the door, just suspicious stranger.
Central and Western Headed Council
Call like that,
1820.
you know, that's in the queue. It's probably for 15 minutes, but I don't know how long that'll stay in the queue. It'd be nice to get that dispatched.
383.
Here's one that's been for 45 minutes, not a big deal, but an abandoned vehicle that someone is standing by to have covered.
1821.
So there's 14 of those calls, and as you can tell, it's not terribly busy, but even when it's not busy, the cars are out on a variety of calls. Most of which require some type of report and paperwork. All right, so
the cops and deputies out there feel as bad about people having to wait as the people do almost.
good point. Good point.
Can I get just the numbers on that stolen Pontiac again?
Yeah, hang on. It's let me see. 534.
534.
Charlie
Okay.
X-ray Bravo 534, and I'm pretty sure it's white.
Okay.
And we won't mention the suspect's name. I think he's still a juvenile, but we're gonna go over there on the east side. That's where he was seen. But all the squads are out there looking for that car.
Is he wanted for something in addition to the...
He's the one we had a chase up in, the big chase up in New Brighton the other day.
Oh, okay. I know who that is.
And he also is involved in several carjackings.
Right.
You know. And there's a Silverado that was taken. That lady was pushed out of her car on the east side here just an hour or so ago, and it's a brand new car. She doesn't even have plates on it.
Okay.
And they grabbed her, threw her out of the car, and took her car. So there was a stolen put out on that. It's got a yellow sticker in it, but if you see a Silverado.
Okay.
It's not unusual for these kids to steal a car in one city and then go to the other, figuring there's a delay in communication. And there is some delay, but
definitely.
Once it's in the computer, it's accessible.
7130 to 7150.
Yeah, the car thefts and carjackings are just... It's unbelievable, the quantity we're having.
Mountain View squads. Mountain View squads to assist Coon Rapids, Silver Lake and Mountain View Boulevard. Coon Rapids, PD is behind us, stolen. Eastbound Mountain View Boulevard. It's Minnesota 912 Romeo Bravo Mike 2014 Nissan Pathfinder.
So there we have a situation where Coon Rapids is following a stolen into our county. Mounds View Boulevard, I think now is actually County 10.
Hit run at Speedway 717, Snell Lane.
Well, we're going to turn on 2 radios. I hate to do that to you, but we want to monitor what's going on that central call, even though we're not near central, because chases can easily cover 10 miles in less than 10 minutes.
And that would be Central County as opposed to Central District of St. Paul.
Exactly.
And we've got a rainbow.
Huh. Well, we can see it on our live feed. Here, I'll see
Yeah,
if
we
I can.
can.
See if I can get a better angle on our rainbow. That means something good is going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
Check that out. Come on. Isn't that an awesome rainbow?
That is beautiful.
The only thing ruining it is that wiper.
Darn uncooperative rain.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll see what happens here. Is Coon Rapids on a common frequency?
Don't have one.
LTAC 1. Alright. Well, they're on LTAC 1, which is a common frequency that we can talk to each other, because Coon Rapids has a different radio set, so we'll see if we can position ourselves to be ready. Truthfully, if they chase this car, they move so quickly, they cover so much ground that you always...
Oh yeah, I got sparked fire. 1423, 1 to 10, I think we got one more person in the car.
1423, copy. You have 1 to 10, possibly one more person in the car. 1826.
Sounds like they got it.
Sounds like the car stopped and they got him. Up in Mounds View. Say hi to these kids here. Hopefully they... How's it going, kids?
You didn't get too wet, did you?
Did you see the rainbow? Yeah. Is that amazing or what? That's amazing.
That tells you got a good night coming.
Something good's going to happen. Maybe there's a pot of gold there. What do you think?
Have a nice night.
Yeah, you too, guys. Thank you. See, those are the kids that we really need to let know that we're not we're not the negative images that they see on the certain newscasts, you know.
Exactly.
And maybe just give us
we're fine here.
just give us a chance to, you know, earn your trust without having a preconceived notion.
White male in his 40s, 5'9", average build, blue shirt, shorts, possessing going eastbound.
All you can do is plant a little seed and have some positive contact, and then build off that one contact at a time. But those seem like some really nice kids.
All of the dozen contacts a day that cops have with people that are just absolutely positive aren't newsworthy.
Yeah.
It's
And obviously the horrific death of George Floyd did so much damage to our collective reputations. We're just been distraught about that. So let that gentleman go. Doesn't look like he wants to go, so technically as a driver, if you give up your right of way, you yield it.
You said new Silverado, right?
Yeah, well, that's, yeah, it didn't have plates, so.
Okay.
7130.
Wilder Playground, case in Edgerton.
I'll be escorting a Army Humvee to Unity Hospital. I'm currently at County Road I and Old Central.
An Army Humvee. Someone must have.
I copy escorting the Humvee to Unity Hospital. I heard County Road I, and what was the other street you were on?
Old Central.
Old Central, copy 1829.
Not sure what that was, but that was a little white SUV just went north.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's the same one.
I don't know if the Pontiac was an SUV. I didn't.
Yeah, I know and I know exactly what they look like.
Is there a model on there? Oh.
Yeah. It's okay. That's not it.
Okay. Well, looks like the rain is clearing up.
5185 Tango.
See if my prediction comes true.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you put that juvenile incident in pending and assign me to the assist?
East Side Pizzeria.
Run, please. I'll be assisting A2.
Pretty popular spot. We've got a pretty good pie.
Magnolias. Anybody in the Porky's lot there? No, not tonight.
Not a soul.
30 squad able to break 1535 Birmingham Street for a lockout. 3-year-old is locked inside a black Honda Accord.
3-year-old locked inside of a car up on Birmingham.
It's a
He had kind of a quick step to him, didn't he? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
3-1 I can break as well. Gonna lock out too.
Cora's Chicken Wings. I haven't eaten there for months or maybe a couple of years, but it's supposed to be really awesome.
They are really good. It's a unique style. It's kind of a sticky wing. It's kind of a sweet and a little bit of spicy sauce. They're good.
I think Joe Miller said those were awesome. Told me that once.
You need a lot of napkins when you eat them, though.
So 6:30 on a Wednesday. It's the final of the rush hour. Most people get home sometime by 7. Hey, by the way, we had a little technical malfunction last time in our battery. Well, the power cord got torn out of the power feed, and so we lost the video for that final one late that night. We apologize for that, but we tried our best to recapture it. But apparently if the video loses power mid-video, there's a complex problem that develops. So it said it was going to reboot, but it never really did. So our apologies.
And to me, the absolute worst part of that is that we don't get to review whatever that thing was that dashed in front of us over in Maplewood.
Yeah, that was a strange deal. I mean, I was thinking maybe some night we should go back there and see if it was a shadow. just so we don't.
530.
Can you put a DOC in signing, please?
It's either a shadow or some entity.
Yeah, I'm hoping it was a
Short Street on a group gathered at the front doors of the building.
It looked like an entity, but. So we're eastbound on Maryland.
7106.
You're East Siders. I'm starting to think though that a lot of these suspects just monitor where we're at and then they go someplace else.
That could be. But once again, we urge you to surrender.
Copy, 18726.
Yep.
27 received. 364.
364.
Now we're out at 1365 right there.
Beautiful night.
$29.
Go ahead.
Taking your status.
Go for it.
Could I interest you in a Mountain Dew?
Sure, I love one.
If you would stop wherever you think, I'd love to grab us a
I've
couple.
only brought water so far, but all I'm do is, hey, John Thompson's lawn signs there. John Thompson, congratulations. He won the primary election last night with 60% of the vote. He goes on to be the DFL candidate for state rep, and I'm quite confident that John is going to win and serve in the legislature. And as I mentioned, he and I are going to work on improving the culture of law enforcement by expanding some of the hiring practices, but he's got a lot of other goals. I'm sure you'll see an article in the newspaper here
442.
in the next few minutes. And sometimes his son watches this show. I don't know if he watches it this early, because this is the earliest we've ever been on. And, actually a closer race, John. I don't know, it was a closer race than I thought. It was like 1,500 votes to 1,000 votes. And, so
442.
I don't know that. Congratulations to his opponent, Hong Murphy, who ran. I always appreciate people put themselves out there and want to attempt to run for office. There's not enough people that are willing really to go through that anymore. It's tough, especially when you got to run every 2 years. I'm just going to run up to Sam's Dairy here first there. Is that okay, Pat?
Absolutely.
Before we get our Mountain Dew?
Absolutely.
Stating that she is
I heard there was
wants to be within 6 meters of that address.
a really good turnout for the primaries.
Yeah, it was amazing. I guess they had more mail-in ballots. More mail-in ballots. Something like 400,000 to 500,000.
That's a lot.
Than they had for all the people that voted 4 years ago.
Holy
The
smokes.
mail-in ballots exceeded the people that voted. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is.
1836.
Again, this is a BCA. There was a murder here, right here, 2 years ago. Some of the residual hurt and anger is still floating around in the community. Brandon, if you're listening, I'm very sorry for the loss of your brother. That was a terrible thing.
Far too young. A lot of cars here. Oh, longer than that.
Well, the rain has obviously driven people inside, but
36.
Can we still use Papa Lock?
Pop a lot.
Stand by one.
That's the call up on Birmingham. If you can't get it open, they might run up there and see a little 3-year-old in the back seat of the car locked in.
2361.
Get to Otter Lake Road in Tennessee. And for a assist fire, it's going to be at the Nature Center. Caller sees a smoking tree.
I'm guessing that's some members of our department doing their fine job.
3-6, we can give them a call.
You guys got it covered? You got it covered?
Yeah, can you get an ETA?
Where's your other truck? I didn't know you guys would be here, but keep up the good work, you awesome gang unit. Appreciate you guys.
For a 92-year-old female, conscious breathing with high blood pressure.
How come Sean never drives?
1838.
Is he any good? Yeah, they do an awesome job. They're monitoring down here. Probably,
164.
I think people probably know him when they see him anyhow, but...
164, case number 166.
Yeah, they stay pretty busy there.
Yeah, that's some really great. Look at that guy. He's doing a backward driving contest. What do you think, Pat? How's he doing?
Well, I'll tell you, it's shaky.
Shaky? Let's just see what happens here. 014 Papa Juliet Mike.
64.
By the way, gang unit, thanks for all your work out there. Dude, just keep a lid on things.
Can you put my call that depending for a second? Put me on our 699.
How's it going, gentlemen? Oh, so hold up.
Hold on.
Oh, now we're gonna have to go. We have to say hi to these boys a little bit. Little do they know. That's your wife?
Congratulations.
We're just checking on. They're backing up for about 150 feet there. There they go. It looks like. How's everyone? Which one's his wife? Which one's his wife? That guy said one of you. Are you his wife? Just stay back. It's cool. Kevin, hey, whose car is this?
I was dropping the parking. I was riding in the parking spot.
Yeah. Well, which is fine. Yeah, you can go ahead and go. I just here's the one before you go though.
Yeah.
Stop.
That's my fault.
Just calm down. Nobody's going to jail, all right? All right. Just calm down. But here's the thing, okay? You know that backing up long distance and blocking the road, not a huge deal, but that's what drew our attention to you.
Yeah, it's just hard finding parking.
Yeah, and actually the spot you picked.
I'm not parking right here. I was just seeing what you guys wanted. Right.
We're just checking in. Well, you drove away from us when we were talking.
I was finding a parking officer.
Yeah. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're just checking, make sure. You know, we get a little crime in these apartments.
Okay.
Not that you guys would ever be involved, but we like to see what's going on. If you wouldn't mind moving that, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
We'll do the Fan Boulevard first.
These are the apartments in the 1200 block of Hazelwood. Fair amount of activity here.
Always has been.
Yeah. Well, let's run up to that Birmingham call and see if we got that 3-year-old out of that locked car yet.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It can't be any fun.
809.
I saw for the 810 out on a PPP for the market.
Some officers have these tools they can get in, and some don't.
And I've got a great kit, but of course it's sitting in my vehicle, not with us.
And the thing is, there are some times that when we use these car openers, we dislodge the mechanics inside the door, and then the lock doesn't work properly. So the departments have gotten away from using them as often. That's why he was trying to call for some additional assistance. So that's Barkley. I know Birmingham's off to our left here a few blocks, right? We're going to 1500 block. I just think I'd go up to Arlington and then find it.
Sounds good. Oh, what's Popalock? Is that a service?
Yeah, it must be a service, yeah. Bob Vusen Company Insurance. Bob's been a great supporter of law enforcement.
386.
386.
I think we're going this way, aren't we?
You can cancel
Yep.
the other car.
We didn't work east side
I
much.
think so.
Okay.
Could be the other way. We'll know here shortly.
Pretty sure this is right in the next block or two, I think.
Barkley, Manton, Birmingham, I think. But
I think you're right.
it's Winchell first. What do we got here? Birmingham.
Here we go.
As you can see, we're
4483, clear report.
within the speed limit according to the sign.
4483, copy 8244.
There's the squad up there. Too bad we didn't bring our tools.
Yeah.
At least it's not hot out. Did he get him out yet?
My car doesn't work with this older. I can't open it with the thing he has.
Slim Jim? Yeah, the Slim Jim.
Right away there. 844.
Well, you got enough experience. You ought to be able to figure out how to get in that car, huh?
You know, it's one of those new cars you can't use the. Hey, Pat.
Hi, John.
You can't use the
Slim Jim.
Slim Jim. It doesn't work.
Well, let us take a peek. Is he called Popalock or what?
Popalock is not available.
So what's the plan?
She's got her family member coming with a spare key.
Oh, that's good. How long is that going to take?
She said an hour. She also called her insurance company.
Is the 3-year-old sleeping?
She's comfortable.
Oh.
7106.
Yeah.
Hi, good. How are you, John?
106.
7106.
Just advising, we have another medical located at 8111 Eastwood Road for 79-year-old male. Conscious breathing, feeling faint. Would you like me to see if medics can advise?
Affirmative, thanks.
You're welcome, 1845.
Check the area for a DOC 448 University. It was 2 white males that took a parking meter in front of the address. Left in a maroon SUV with no plates, last seen eastbound University. Both white males in their 20s, 6 feet average build.
Received, no advice.
At 1846.
174.
174.
Squad 383.
383.
You change my call to an AGP, declare Morgan plan, and send us a pending.
Received at the top. I think the animal complaint 147 Mariah. Colors bit by a pit bull. I don't know where it is now.
Copy. Is animal control on?
Negative.
Copy.
Station 47.
Michael, you think you can get in that car or what?
373.
373.
You sent me that call. I was on again, and they were using a change to an APD.
Well, they tried the Slim Jim already.
Advise, McMurphy 89.
1847.
Yep. What about how much scratching is going to put on
A3.
You can disregard 82. I copy error. Taking the phone call request, another harassment report at 1847.
Hold on a second here.
$51.85 Tango Lobby Clear Report. 1848.
One 74 is on scene.
1848.
Oh, I just saw that. It's the ATM. It looks like there's Brink Security was just getting done with the ATM.
Copy. Brink Security appears to be just getting done with the ATM at 1848.
Three 373.
373.
I'll be out with that lady at 1483 Hazelwood.
Copy with the female at 423 Hazelwood.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. The metal, but you're still going to have a little bit of scratch. If you got the key, but have it ready as an alternative. All right, officer, you're doing a fine job. Doing a fine job. So yeah, give her. Make sure she calls back if something happens that changes it. All right, thanks. So she's got a key coming from a relative. One of our viewers offered to come and help, and I think he probably would get in the car. He's very good at that, but problem is he might do a little scratching. That car doesn't have much scratching on it. And anytime you insert a tool along that seam, the 3-year-old's doing great. No examples of stress. Obviously, if there was any stress or some crying, the officer would resort to more extreme means to get in the car.
Right.
But the mom and the owner of the car wants to wait for her mom to bring the key, so he'll be there for make sure everything's okay.
Well, I'd say go get my tool, but by the time we got to the LEC and back, she'd probably be there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, one of our viewers offered to come down. She told me I don't want to scratch my car, so and then it's completely up to her. And the baby looks fine inside there.
809.
All right, so
Can you clear this as a report, March 810?
back to the east side. Oh, we got to get a Mountain Dew. Good thinking.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeedy. So,
47 copy.
we want to go in and get it, or we want to just go drive through?
I'll go in and get them.
Male coordinated, please describe the black male, this 45-8 average criminal wearing a black shirt, brown shorts, and black mask.
I need one too.
Is that Walgreens back open?
1852.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe as long as we're up this way, that Super America right here at White Bear and Larpenteur, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I'll be cleared if I
Late night spot, but there won't be any lines. So that type of call, you can see that's a pretty normal type call. We're out there to just end up helping people that are desperate. And, cops are doing helpful work like that pretty much every day, all day long.
Is there anyone at team or near team that can go to 4?
Our deputies, as I mentioned, our deputies out in patrol are... You all good there? That beard's coming along good, huh? Really looking sharp. See ya.
Still can't get used to that.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah, the St. Paul just changed their policy to allow facial hair within the last, few months?
Yeah, when I came back as sheriff, it was a big issue. It had temporarily been approved.
Male and female by the Jarvis Park entrance, 1853.
Well, before...
69. Male talking in the background with...
We got a lot of calls.
The
call flow started to pick up.
Disconnected. Male and female arguing in the background. Call back, said told to get away from her, disconnected again. Feeling it's told about harassment.
Channel 3. Anyhow, my point about the beards is I'm more of a traditional person, so I didn't...
Just be advised, per previous OSP violation calls, the address.
Didn't really sound... I wasn't excited about either, but here's what I found out, that people, it's a softer image, and we needed to improve the image of our softness, and actually the public finds police officers and deputies with beards to be more approachable.
I was going to use that same word. That's what I would guess.
Yeah. So,
I think County's going to be out with those parties at Lake Jarvis County Park.
So that's why I approved them. Beards and...
Someone was yelling at somebody else about harassment.
You know the address?
It was 530 York.
530 York. Got some serious road blockage out here in Maplewood, Minnesota.
Yeah, there is. You really have to weave your way around.
What was the call on Prosperity there that those two cars were at?
Not finding it.
You can clear this out. Assisted with Sheriff Fletcher and retired St. Paul PD. Pat Scott.
There, Pat Scott got a mention on the St. Paul radio. Can't beat that, Pat.
Well, there's some people saying, geez, I thought we got rid of him.
A lot of cars out.
Yeah, there are.
.4447 a month.
Aldrich Arena. So I saw my first hockey game. I think I mentioned that before in 62 or 63.
When you get a chance, can I even call Dana, please?
Johnson High School playing there, the infamous Shattuck, Groupie, and Hughes line.
Thank you. You do 7.
It's pretty amazing. Haney Rental. Rented a lot of stuff from these guys. Highly recommend them. Good people.
9133. Medical.
Haney Rental.
If you can't find it there, it probably doesn't exist. You don't do that sugar-free stuff, do you?
No.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, can you just get a 1 pack of Twinkies? Just 1 pack of Twinkies.
I was going to surprise you.
Oh. Last time, didn't I?
286.
And the other thing, I had never really seen the Woody Harrelson zombie movie, but somebody sent me a couple of the Woody Harrelson clips in Zombieland, I think it was. Turns out he's a big Twinkie fan too.
Yes, he
He
is.
went after the last Twinkie left. So yeah, if you ever get a chance, Google YouTube Woody Harrelson Twinkies. Woody Harrelson Twinkies. There's some good, some funny videos.
It's pretty funny.
Good to know I'm in good company. So Mountain Dew and a Twink. Are you gonna go for Fountain Pop?
I was gonna get.
Can you get me a fountain?
You want a Fountain Dew?
It's always got a little
Fountain Dew. Hey, I
Fountain Dew.
play on
Fountain
words.
Dew. There you go. We might stop out to the patrol division too here, because the patrol division out in Shoreview is having some burgers cooked. Get some real food on the way too. Thanks, Donnie Rendell, Sergeant Rendell, for letting us know. While we're here, I just got some. I'll take a look at some of the text to 651-448-3810. 448-3810.
Didn't run Hazelwood and Sherwood.
So, questions about encryption. I'm not a fan of encryption.
To make a difference.
Not a fan of encryption. We have several channels that are encrypted. We can always go to an encrypted channel. But I just think in terms of accountability.
Injuries. It's going to be northbound 35 west. 2-vehicle crash.
Hang on.
It's going to be at mile marker 25. I'm showing that north of County Road D Delta. Callers of passerby not involved. Crashes between exits 25 and 26. Northbound. Fires being advised.
I just think the ability for the public to have information about what's going on in their community is critically important.
91.
Just looking at a message here. All right, so that's why I'm not a fan of encryption. I think it's important.
The group is mostly back at Aurora, McCubbin, St. Paul. Strike 1 and Strike 2 and myself will be clear. If you got a CN for this car procession, you can mark that advised.
Copy 1900.
So I got want to wish Jim Shaletto a happy birthday. Or Jill, pardon me, Jill Shaletto. Happy birthday, Jill Shaletto. Your friend says you're the best, and thank you for letting her know about this program. She works at Freeway Towing, I think. Freeway Towing. Jill Shaletto, we're going to try to get a stolen for you to haul away. Thanks so much. Caller wants to know why the calls hold. The calls are in holding because there's just not enough cars on the streets to go handle all the calls. Let me see. Yeah, I got a request for Ron Nafla and Ty Sheridan to be the ride-along partner from Victoria. Those are both great commanders. Ron Nafla brought him out of retirement. Ty Sheridan's been here for years.
656 Parkway. It's marked in improv as assault. 3 females and 1 male are in a vehicle throwing bricks at each other.
Oh, here's one I want to answer. Don Husengay. Yes. I worked with Don Husengay when I got assigned to the A1 team. He was on the day shift. I was on midnights. I'd see him every single morning. Wonderful, wonderful guy, that Don Husengay. Officer, he just, let me just see what, used to walk the beat. Yeah, he was out there on the street all the time. And I know Brian Coyle, who I coached football at Hamlin, ended up being married to his daughter for a period of time. So this person says he's his uncle. But both Brian Coyle, of course, became a commander at St. Paul Police Department, did an awesome job. Like I said, I coached him in football. He was one of the only players ever to win the Jerry Smith Award for Courage twice. So, but I just can't say enough good things about Don Husengay, Officer Don Husengay, and some of the great memories that I had working with him. Got some people from outstate saying they're appreciating the show. I don't have any more information on the assaults down there on Pinehurst. I'm working on getting that. Hopefully that case will get solved. Got a request to stop by a couple places. We might do that later on. We'll try to stop by the Best Sober House on the east side. Thank you for all your work. Yeah, John Christensen, thank you very much, John. Thanks for the reminder about... Oh, pants back in. Hang on. No. My wife texted me and said I should have been happy with just the bottle pop, but any connoisseur of Mountain Dew will tell you that, yes, the bottled Mountain Dew is good, the can's okay, but the fountain pop is something special.
8196, rain spots copy. How long do you need?
Oh. Had to wet my whistle there, Pat.
Hit the spot.
I did. And they're having some, we might grab a burger out at the patrol station here. They're cooking burgers outside out there.
Oh, nice.
And it'd be good for our viewers to see our patrol station.
Driving away to cell phone and however there's still emails standing on the corner.
Great deputies working patrol.
Yeah, very proud of the department we have. Like I said, we get some of the fewest number of complaints, well, the fewest number per capita of any department in the state of Minnesota. 250 sworn deputies, another 200 correctional officers. And the Minnesota Peace Officers. Sorry, I'm choking on the Twinkie. It's that sponge cake. They keep track of all the complaints. I don't know if you saw the story on the complaints at the Minneapolis Police Department, but so some of them didn't get turned into complaints. But just it is the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Act. There requires persons to make a signed complaint. So if you do have a complaint, I think your door is open. If you do have a complaint and you call, they'll take your information, but they generally will send you a document in the mail to sign. So the sergeant can certainly counsel the person on if they're acting in a way you didn't think was appropriate. But if you want an official complaint registered that is potentially results in discipline, you have to sign a complaint. And that's right in state law.
Copy, thank you. 1906.
That bridge we just went under, I'm gonna do a U-turn real quick. Hold on, Pat. I gotta show you the bridge. I'll tell you, there's different crimes that haunt your past experience.
I'll give him a call.
But this bridge at Gateway Trail over White Bear Avenue, and then maybe you guys can help us solve this. But several years ago,
373.
kids, well, I'm assuming it's kids, people threw rocks off the top of this
Female passenger courtesy ride
and blinded a driver. The rock came through his windshield and hit him here.
Oh, wow.
They never were able to solve this crime. But it's been 20 years now. By now, I hope the person has a little bit of remorse and guilt and has told somebody. But if you know anyone that talked about throwing rocks off this Gateway Trail that resulted in the blinding of I mean, it was a big rock. We're talking a large rock that as you're driving, it comes through your windshield, hit him square in the face. But I could look up the exact time and when that happened, but it's one of those crimes that gnaws at you because it's just such an evil thing to do to people. Gateway Trail on White Bear Avenue, here by the Maplewood Community Center. And unfortunately, some of those things, they go unremembered, and we should never forget those victims.
Completely senseless.
Love to solve that, you know. Probably the statute of limitations has actually expired because the person didn't die. They were just blinded. But it'd still be great to bring closure to that particular case and maybe help the suspect in that clear his conscience too. So
yeah, you would certainly hope that they feel some guilt over it, and maybe coming forward would ease that guilt.
I know that there's no comparison between the cases, but the Jacob Wetterling, case just haunted so many of us for years, and it's ironic because we're just by Home Depot here, but I used to run into Patty Wetterling here, and you want to give her a big hug because it's the toughest thing to go through when you're missing a child and you want closure, but then when you get closure, it's tenfold as tough. It's that was one of the worst cases ever. And sadly for us in police work, so often we have leads and we think we know who it is, but we're not able to. We're not able to push the person to the point of confession or to gain the evidence. But that suspect in that case was known at the time. One of the morals of the story is, for those types of crime, there's only a certain number of people that commit those crimes, and they do them more than once. They do them more than once. So if there's a suspect that has a history, as there was in that case in a different town, or a suspect, trust your gut. It's not just because you can't tie them positively to that. You just got to keep working the case because there's a limited number of people that are that evil. Young cops need to know that. I mean, that's the one benefit of having time is time and time again it ends up being somebody right under your nose.
Yep.
600 600.
Same people, time after time.
We're out of Maplewood there, north on White Bear. We're going to stop by the patrol station. Sergeant Don Rendell let the guys know we'll be there. And it'll be live. Probably won't have any audio, of course, but have them look their best.
Because the sheriff is coming.
Yeah. And Jim Dunlap, one of our sergeants out there, every once in a while does a little cookout for the troops. And today was the day that they did a little cookout for the troops.
You can send us to recovered property.
Little things like that are so huge for morale and the camaraderie.
Yeah.
366.
We used to play back in the day. We used to play
softball.
Was it Wednesday or Tuesday morning? Do you remember?
I think it was Tuesday.
Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock. You'd work till 7 o'clock, and then you'd either stay awake or get up after 2 hours and go play softball against rival teams. Every team had its own softball team. And then Lee Klein, God rest his soul, was a sergeant that coordinated this whole thing, and we had some great competition between the 6 different teams. So everybody would play one game on Tuesday from 10 to 12. and then have some food or burgers, or
453 has been updated to a
on occasion go to an early opening of a bar.
A little bit of day drinking would happen now and then.
Yeah, once in a while. But those were some of the greatest times we had playing softball against. And it was all shifts would get together. And then, you know, Lee would put an all-star team together, and that all-star team would get to drive or go to tournaments around the country.
Yeah, our team won a lot. The St. Paul PD team in the national tournaments.
4041, clear systems.
Well, we're going out into the suburbs. We just left Maplewood. Now we're prowling under White Bear. We haven't been out here for maybe any of this time. We'll get back into the city too, but as long as the call load is quiet, we'll just get out into the suburbs a little bit. I just think the criminals are, you know, they rather watch the show than go out and commit crime.
I think that's it. If we rode around on Facebook Live all the time, we could bring crime in St. Paul and Ramsey County to a screaming halt.
So we did get some texts back at that last stop. Someone asked about DeGidio's. Love DeGidio's. Great lunch stop for us at the sheriff's office. Mancini's is open for lunch too, so kind of pick between those.
2365.
This occurred in Little Canada. If you can change it to a verbal dispute, that'll be clear assist.
Yeah, both long-time institutions, Mancini's and DeGidio's. I've never had better lasagna than DeGidio's.
Yeah. Backfire?
I think so.
Yeah. Sounded like a gunshot. Gunshots have backfired sound a lot, but there's an older pickup going by.
2525
I didn't see any muzzle flashes at all.
No.
But
I'm sure that was out of the truck.
Yeah.
Copy and verifying your code 4.
Favor.
But I did duck for a second.
Copy 1915.
County Road E and...
Can I have you head back 280 Road colors? Same color from before is call back stating that beige sedan is parked out, protruding, partially blocking the driveway.
We gotta take a little drive through Vadnais Heights, town that's special to me. I got to serve on the city council and serve as mayor. And
3920.
Great town, great staff there. City
East
Hall.
Zone 36, crossing Greenview. Find a silver sedan, not stopping. I didn't disregard it, lost it. Speeds were about 90.
Oh, eastbound 36 at Greenview.
Copy eastbound 36 at Greenview for a silver sedan, not stopping.
I don't know where Greenview
Speeds about
is.
90.
I have no idea where Greenview is.
Maplewood car.
3910 copies. Are you in pursuit?
Oh, it's North St. Paul.
Negative. Just attempted a traffic stop.
If it's North St. Paul and he's eastbound.
Did you get a plate in air? Negative. I've got multiple pedestrians waving me down right now. I'm going to check the area.
Silver sedan. What did we just pass there? What's the name of that bar? The
Sports Break? Sports Break?
They call it Sports Break now?
I think that's it.
Used to be, what did it used to be called? Oh, it bothers me that I can't remember. But anyhow, across the street here, we get into Vadnais Heights. The Vadnais Heights Sports Center, which has just been renamed in the last 2 weeks as the TCO Sports Garden.
Right across for 36. Greenview's not coming up.
Yeah, she can come up.
Stadium Bar. That's it. Stadium Bar.
Squad 2365. 1917.
Stadium was the most recent, but if you go back further.
In regards to a PCN, comp would like to speak about a previous bird report.
So now the Vadnais Heights Sports Center is called the TCO, Twin Cities Orthopedics Sports Garden. They bought the naming rights. I tried to make sure that never happened because I was proud of having the Vadnais Heights on there, but after I left, powers to be took over.
One in an LEC with one.
1918.
You can see that all the signage has been changed. I wonder how much it costs to change all that signage.
Can't be cheap.
Saks, great sports bar if you're ever up here watching hockey. Saks Sports Bar, one of the best. Get their food delivered. They get the food there pretty quick too. I like that about them. Bingo too.
Suspicious 1521 Edgerton. Male pulling on multiple doors of the school, still on scene. Unknown race, unknown age, 5'6" to 6 foot, thin, all black, no weapon seen. Black bag, left on the west side of the building. 1918.
Jimmy's coming up here on the left.
Jimmy Prue and Charles run a great institution.
Great breakfast.
Yeah, we're on County Road E, westbound at Labor Road, if you're wondering where we're at. And
37323, in the mileage, 01.1.
How's your Mountain Dew there, Pat?
Perfect.
Good.
1919.
I saw advertised. I saw someone's making a mask for COVID that you can fill up with fluids in the mask, and then on the inside there you can there's a little valve you can suck, you can drink while you got your COVID mask on. I think it's designed for heavy drinkers though, because they were pouring hard liquor into the mask, you know.
Interesting.
Going to football games or something.
A little bit of brandy.
People will find a way, isn't it? They'll find a way to
361.
manipulate.
Oh, definitely.
361.
For domestic, 271 Earl, number 11. Child's father took belongings that was physical earlier. Caller's going to be in the back by a Ford Flex, black in color. Suspects in the front yard. Name of Cedric, 30-year-old black male, 6'2", thin, green shirt, black pants. Had a kitchen knife earlier.
Ducking rope.
1920.
We'll get back to some of that activity in a little bit, but
The buttons being pressed and music was heard.
I was trying to run out.
Plus, they checked on this earlier today, pinged in the same location. That call was cleared away.
I heard Mad Jack's closed down.
It does. It looks like it's got a remodeling or some sort, huh?
Yeah. I wonder what's going in there.
Hey, if you ever want to go biking or hiking, this Snail Lake Regional Park, Snail Vadnais Lake, gotta have some of the best trails anywhere in the country, and that's one of the highlights of Vadnais Heights is the Vadnais Lake. Now, for those of you that live in St. Paul, your water comes a long and interesting stretch. So this is where your water, I'm gonna go backwards. Your water comes from a water treatment plant down on Roselawn and Rice. And then it's stored at different places, like Highland Park has a water tower storage, you know, that where Highland Park is there.
2364.
But before it comes to Roselawn, it goes through giant 5-foot pipes from Lake Vadnais down to the Roselawn Treatment Center. And by the way, your kids, if you're interested, they give tours of the treatment center there at the St. Paul Water Department at Roselawn. And so the water comes from Vadnais. And And that's why there's no boating whatsoever on Vadnais Lake, so that they can keep that water clarity, lets it settle before they ship it down to Roselawn. But before it comes into Vadnais, it comes through Sucker Creek and to Sucker Lake, just north of here, where people like to fish off of Highway 96. And before it comes to Sucker Creek, it comes from Pleasant Lake in North Oaks. It filters through there. And before it comes to Pleasant Lake, it comes from Charlie Lake in North Oaks. Now, granted, there's rain that's added here, but here's the interesting part. Before it comes to Charlie Lake, and keep in mind, this is Vadnais, Sucker, Pleasant, and Charlie. And the concept here is that the water for St. Paul water treatment gets filtered as it goes through all these chain of lakes.
Okay.
And it gets cleaned, and which it does. And so before it comes into Charlie Lake, it comes from 2 large pipes from the Mississippi River.
Really?
Yeah, way north there, north of St. Anthony Falls, there's pipes. Now, they don't always have the pipes open because sometimes there's enough rain and water to be captured in the 4 chain of lakes.
Okay.
But when it's dry, they open those pipes up and bring the water from the Mississippi River, which is above the treatment plants. It's above the treatment in Minneapolis, so it's fresh water from the river, but then it works its way through 4 chains before it's sent down to Roselawn Street to be treated. Isn't that something?
I learn more every time I ride with you.
Well, water's important. Not as important as Mountain Dew, but close. Yeah, and so I think the pipe is actually along the Mississippi River in Fridley, but it goes through from Charlie Lake in North Oaks all the way through. It's an amazing story. Now, for those of you in the suburbs, most suburbs do not have St. Paul water. You see the towers out here, they have well water. And everybody has different view as to whether well water is better or fluoridated water is better. Some houses have their own wells, but like Vadnais Heights has a complete well system with towers and storage. And so here we are with Lake Vadnais, where the water comes for everybody to drink in St. Paul, but Vadnais Heights never had any water.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's been a big controversy now, because as you know, when White Bear Lake lowered their levels, that was in part because the wells were tapping the aquifer, and the aquifer was being drained, and so water was seeping out of the bottom of the lake. So one of the big issues is how much do the wells deplete the aquifer, causing the lakes to drain. But now White Bear has been up the last couple years, back to its normal levels. But for 10 years, it was
way down.
Way down. So that goes up to Sucker Creek up there. There we just passed. So, but in the midst of all those lakes that provide our water supply, there's so many beautiful trails and parks and stuff to hike. I just highly recommend.
This is a beautiful part of the county.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go up to. So anyhow, a reminder for those of you that are new, Sheriff's Office patrols 7 cities that have decided not to have their own police department. And that's the traditional ones have been Arden Hills, Shoreview, Little Canada, North Oaks, Vadnais Heights, White Bear Township. It used to be Gem Lake, and now Gem Lake is contracting with White Bear, and then the city of Falcon Heights, after the death of Philando Castile, decided not to use St. Anthony, and they contracted with the Sheriff's Office. And I'll be going over there in the next month to meet with their city council to discuss our community relations and, some of the efforts that we've made and everything that's going on since, of course, the horrific death of George Floyd. So I have a phone mounted here. I can see some text. I don't have to touch it at all. So, but apparently there are some protests taking place in downtown Minneapolis. Sheriff Hutchinson, if you're listening, you probably know this already, but the last 2 to 3 nights in Chicago, we've seen protests in Chicago. And of course, that on occasion, you saw the Michigan Mile being vandalized and looting there a couple nights ago. It happened 2 nights in a row. It all spawned from false information. There was a suspect that had actually shot at the police, and the police returned fire, but it was an adult. They didn't, but the social media took over. And so there's been a call amongst protesters to copycat what happened in Chicago. So the closest thing to the Michigan Mile would be Nicollet Mall, of course, although a lot of those stores are closed down, but Nicollet Mall and Edina have been targeted as some possibilities. I read some posts there where they were actually talking about Nicollet Mall, the Mall of America, Edina, and the Outlet Mall in Albertville is what some of the local anarchist movements were calling for looting of those. So it sounds like something's going on. Actually, I'm going to call Sheriff Hutchinson here and ask him what he knows. Call Dave Hirsch.
Who would you like to call?
Dave Hirsch.
Calling Dave Hirsch.
I got him coded in my phone as Hirsch because when I typed it in, I missed the Hutch. So we'll see if he's busy.
378, can I get my case number?
Hey, what's up?
Sheriff, you're live on Facebook, so just as a warning there, just letting you know, you want to say hi to your Facebook. You are the best sheriff in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, of course I am. But no, I just want to say hello to everybody in Hennepin, and some people are wondering why I'm not doing what Bob's doing. And again, I'll make a few jokes, but I can't talk about what happened in the 60s or 70s. So.
Yeah, you didn't. Thanks for not calling me.
I can't talk about the best. Tony, what?
Thanks for not calling me Grandpa.
Well, you are Grandpa. You're Grandpa Bob. The second best sheriff in the whole state.
Thanks for saying that. Hey, I don't know if you heard this, but I just got a text saying there's some copycat looting attempted to be taken downtown Nicollet and 9th. I don't know if it just came across. I don't know. It was on the radio. I just thought maybe you'd want to know because I know you've been very, very good at cracking down on all the crime problems downtown.
Well, if there is, we're prepared because we have our votive guys and ladies out on some other detail. But I heard a little bit of that, and then what was the car protest that was on? It came from St. Paul to Minneapolis and back to St. Paul like a couple hours ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have been a Romo base, but I'm not sure. Hey, as long as I got you, Sheriff, talk about all the guns you guys have recovered with your violent offender task force, and you've been taking the lead. Sheriff Hutch has been taking the lead on this violence. In fact, we're moving our federal task force into his building there downtown on 4th Street. So tell us a little bit about what you got going.
Well, our votive violent offender task force with Ramsey County, St. Paul, Minneapolis, and the feds, we've recovered, I can't even keep track, but we're about, I want to say 80 in the last couple of weeks, and we got arrested a bunch of felons, and a lot of these guns we recovered were stolen, and a lot of them had extended magazines, which, for handguns, what that means. It's not for hunting or anything, it's for shooting humans, and so we tracked down, like you said, the Tim Cities task force is moving. We actually just commandeered a space from the county, and I don't really want to give the location, but It's in a building downtown. We got a whole floor to ourselves, and each partner has their own office. So Ramsey County has an office, and I made sure I had a window view for you guys and Mike. And then it's a really nice facility that the county is nice enough to let us use. And we're going after the worst of the worst, targeted surgical interventions with violent criminals, and we're not going to stand for it. And this isn't, we're not doing random stops. We're going after people who are known gang members, known violent people with guns. And if those people are listening, because I know you have thousands of views, even some of the people come on here. But with the whole Twin Cities law enforcement and the feds coming together, we're coming for you, and we're going to put you in jail if you shoot people or do other things, aggravated robberies. We're coming for you, so get ready.
Sheriff, thanks for your leadership on so many of these issues. I really appreciate it, and some night I'll come over and pick you up, and we'll ride around in Hennepin County too. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. And I just want to tell you, Bob, I've talked about you on other radio shows like with Mike Martin. Here's the thing. You know a lot of stuff. You've been around a long time. You're one of the best law enforcement people in the state here. But I think also, since we became friends and partners, that I'm kind of bringing some old school into some new school into the old school. And I think it's you've been a mentor to mine, and I think maybe even I taught you a few things like how to Facebook Live and get all these cool people. And we got something similar coming. It's not going to be as cool because I can't talk about my daughter in 1981 hitting her first home run or the best pancakes in town because I'm only 40. I'm not 90. So
yeah, I know. Do you remember? Thanks for reminding me of my age. I know.
You're the best grandpa in the business. So I gotta say.
We're gonna get out and have a hamburger, but we check on that downtown stuff, will you? Because if something's going on, maybe we'll meet you over there.
If something's going on, I'll call you. We're going on there. We'll start asking some people. So sounds great.
All right. Thanks, Sheriff Hutch. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Bye. Let's go check. We're out at the patrol station here. We're just gonna go check. This is out in Arden Hills at Hamlet and 96. We're just gonna go check in the burgers and thank the troops. We will not be gone long. All right, we're gonna leave the car running. We're gonna leave all the police radios running, so you can hear. We got to stop and say thank you to all their hard work.
Three two.
3-2.
Sweet GOA. We'll take the 911 on 7th.
Yeah, Peter. No, I'm probably not going to have much myself.
Let's go 366.
366.
Let's go to assist 530 York. Additional calls, 911, open line. Female that's open or chokehold after PD left. Sound like a male was also there, struggle. Physical fight.
Okay.
369 advised. Team cancel 366. We'll take it.
Copy 366 to be clear.
Clear.
637.
I can take the DLC. If you can probably find somebody from Coast that can go with me. Otherwise, I'll wait for another car.
Okay, looks like 453 is currently in the call.
453, I can do 4.
Information squad on a shot fired and pending. One caller, Westminster, Arlington. 2 shots heard, nothing else seen or heard. 638.
There's a Central Squad that can break. 998 Palace Avenue. For a welfare check, it's reading as a man down. We do have medics en route. They're in the backyard of the address.
262, I can be en route.
Be clear for 7-year-old. Copy, nice to meet you.
Alright. 630.
Bravo 739.
Bravo 739.
Music, good night, man.
271, copy, you took the theft from auto reported Panino's Restaurant, 857 Village Center Drive. Vehicle is a black Honda CRV at 1939.
453, someone looking for Coast.
Affirmative. Can I be take 204 with 366?
Copy, going to 4. 383.
383.
We clear report, and you can send us a shots fired.
640. Squad 7130 and 7106.
Copy. 10-1.
7130.
One ready, Willie McDaniel, ready southwest.
Can you check Tony Sandwich King, 2555 Mountain View Boulevard? Comp stated the front door is open with the lights out. Caller is no longer on scene, is requesting an area check.
7130, I'll advise.
Copy, 1940.
30 to 35-year-old black male, white t-shirt, long braids pulled back.
Cars coming in the area, we need to do Thomas and Grotto, and then a block south.
Copy, needs was at Thomas and Grotto, then a block southwest. Additional squads to start.
188, we'll break.
2364.
2364.
Sending you a phone call request in regards to a CSC report at 3515 Richmond Avenue.
Copy.
Thank you, 1941.
Second degree assault. A firearm was used.
Okay.
373.
Advise with 381. You send me 378 scrapping.
1941.
Tonight we're at Grotto. I've been
1942.
835. I think we have them in this block here. If we can get cars, Grotto and Thomas, then we need one to the west of Grotto.
Something going.
On Edmund and on Thomas.
There we go.
188, we'll take West Grotto.
We're back.
We are back. Sorry for the delay, but it's important to say hi to the troops in here. This is Sheriff's Patrol Station.
1942.
Just a little thank you to the troops with some burgers being distributed
1942.
out here at Hamlin and 96. Of course, as soon as you stop, something's happening.
Speaking of which.
So we will run back into St. Paul. Into the West District.
An 835, he's a pretty big guy. He's over 6 feet tall. I would say 250 to 300.
Suspect is about 6 feet tall, 250 to 300 at 1943.
That's the gang unit. 835 is the gang unit. They're pursuing this guy in Frogtown.
Sorely have squad south end. Have they checked out?
An 835, whoever is parked watching the bar, he was hanging out with a group outside of the bar, so we just have to make sure we're keeping a good eye on the cars parked outside.
Guessing
so they can get back in one.
Guessing it's Willard since they meant crowd. Of course,
Suspect was hanging out with a group outside the bar, have eyes on the vehicles at 1943.
Pat knows the owner there very well.
836, he's specifically with some females. They're parked right across from the entrance of the bar on the west side of the street facing south.
So the females parked across the street from the entrance on the west side, facing south.
Last name is on a plane, Charlie X-ray Bravo 534, 2009 Pontiac Torrent, information 844.
Here's what Joe had to say about it. Sometimes we're cautious about telling you who we're looking for just because we don't always know for sure that they're adults and we want to respect their privacy if they're juveniles, but is it in there?
Yeah.
And was it from Willard's or?
Yeah, that's where he ran from.
Okay.
Go for 824.
Let's just see what the warrant's for here. Does it say in there?
No. I know he is wanted, but I can't remember what for right now. Oh, wait a minute. There it is.
All right, here's his picture. He just sent us a picture.
Wanted for a Department of Corrections warrant and pick up and hold for second-degree assault with a firearm used.
Okay.
Is physical listed in there?
Yeah, probably here if you scroll around there.
Haven't seen him in a long time. 5'11", 251 pounds.
So we're looking for a guy named Willie McDaniel, correct?
Correct.
For those of you that are listening, if you know him, tell Willie to turn himself in. It's so much easier when people just turn themselves in.
What squads do we have in the prayer then?
What are the warrants for there, Pat?
He's got a Department of Corrections warrant for a parole violation. Don't know what the original charge was on that. And he's got an active pickup and hold from, I believe it's from St. Paul PD, for second-degree assault with a firearm.
Thank you, please.
And Joe Miller, our analyst, if you're copying any of this, you know, it's a lot easier for us if you could just look that stuff up and pass it on to us. We are not as good with the computer on the move as you are.
6 home into the area. What was your last name?
His last seen the alley south of Thomas and Milton, right between the houses.
Thomas and Milton.
833, I'm in front of 747 Edmond, the last place I saw him was on Metro.
And the canine
Last seen
unit.
in front of 747 Edmond.
Canine unit is coming to the scene.
835, I talked to some people in the alley between Charles and Edmond to the south. I don't think he got south. I think he cut back north towards Thomas, so I think he's in that block somewhere.
Copy. Come back towards Thomas. 1947.
So hopefully they got a perimeter set up soon enough to keep him contained within that block or so area.
Just squad watch the south alley between Thomas and Edmund on Avon.
Nice thing about the Frogtown area is, and the Western District in general, is the blocks are very even, rectangular, and fairly easy to set up a perimeter on.
Sight lines are easy.
Exactly.
Well, the nice part about this chase is he's 250 plus.
Maybe even I could catch him.
Yeah, we might. I might have a match by this point, you know. Problem, of course, is if they know somebody or one person in the area that can give them cover. I don't know, this 35W construction might last forever.
Huh.
Still raining.
It's about 516 Chelsea. 516.
Well, we're going to
1726 Grand Avenue, Unit 4 for new progress domestic. Caller's girlfriend is intoxicated and attacking the caller.
We did hear last week that some of the
white female, 35 years old.
troublemakers were starting to hang out there, you know, just because they're running out of places to go.
Yeah.
So.
And it looks like she just took the caller's vehicle, the black GMC Envoy, last time she found on Grand.
So we're southbound on 35W. We're going to get off on Cleveland. We'll take Cleveland down to Larpenteur. Then we'll essentially be
clear advising status that's suspicious.
Back to Falcon Heights, which borders St. Paul. Then we'll get to the perimeter in time to kind of go through the alley. So once you set the perimeter up, then you got canines that'll track them. But it really does help to have people driving the alleys, just kind of flush them out, you know, and see if you can get an eyeball on where they're hiding. And then once they start moving, then that's when you really have an opportunity to catch the suspect.
It's usually just a matter of time once you get them moving again.
The canines are good at, you know, finding them when they're hunkered down, but ultimately it's the perimeter and the cops that are around there that have to move quickly once the perimeter might get adjusted or moved.
For Highway 61 and 1st Street, cleared out advised. 164, we're already here.
I guess we'll stop for this one.
175 disregard.
It's nice having heavy duty everything on a police package. So cornering, my wife has a nice car, but when I drive that, but this suspension here, any police package suspension is so nice and tight when you're cornering or braking.
Yeah, this is a nice handling vehicle.
For squad info, our tickets entered in to call the DOC warrant as well as the St. Paul pickup, 1952.
So our analyst sent us a photograph.
175.
Photograph of him as well.
175.
As all the official warrant
information.
information.
You go to Vic and LaFond. That's the only open spot.
Victoria LaFond is an open spot. Usually when we get to get there first, we're stuck on a perimeter, but now that we're getting there late, we can actually prowl the interior. So obviously some of the things that are going to pick up here, just a reminder, if you want to send us a text with a question, 651-448-3810, 651-448-3810. And if you wouldn't mind sharing this video with your friends so other people can decide if they like it. I mean, the whole goal here is to give people a view of what law enforcement does, at the same time, you know, build some trust through transparency with the way that we do things in police work, which isn't always accurately depicted on the media.
Please changes to occurring damage.
So we're coming up on the memorial for Philando Castile. He was eastbound on Larpenter right here.
262.
And
283 going to take primary on this.
Just gonna pause here for a minute to honor him.
75 Rice Street for an area check 1953.
So at some point here before the George Floyd Memorial is done, I think we'll take a trip over there as well. But this is the Philando Castile Memorial on Larpenter Avenue, right at Larpenter and Fry.
Very tragic incident.
Yeah, very tragic. And so, from so many different angles, just I'm pretty much, I can say that, you know, if it was an old-time officer like you or I, Pat, it wouldn't have evolved that way, correct?
Had that exact same conversation with many officers.
Part of it's the youngness and the training of some young officers, and I do attribute a lot of things to how we're training our young officers, and you know, there's no substitute for experience. And when they're out there alone, especially, you know, in the Minneapolis case of the Justine Diamond, I mean, both those officers had less than a year on, you know, and there's
Squad 534.
just so much you learn from working with an older guy. I don't know if you worked with, I worked with a number of older officers.
523 Jackson Street,
you know,
308,
Well, my first partner was Jerry Steffen. So.
Yeah. Well, you learn a lot from those old guys, and then when you're done working with your old mentors, it's great to have a partner to work with, because things happen different when you have a partner. Some checks and balances, some extra safety, and but part of it is, I mean, you know, this whole concept of how we train people. I mean, it really is three things: hire people, and this is what I want to work with John Thompson on, opening the pool of who we hire. Hire people that maybe don't want to be cops but would be interested in being cops, and then train them with the big picture perspective of who it is we're policing, not just on the arrest procedures. And then you have to have an adequate disciplinary structure to keep guiding officers, because they will make mistakes. I mean, the young ones. It's, I mean, pray to God it's never, you know, a deadly force /issue. But so hiring, training, and discipline. Well, I say discipline, I mean supervision / discipline. So we're headed back into St. Paul here anyhow.
That's about Avon approaching the pond.
Is that Williams?
I didn't catch that.
I think he saw him. So we'll be going down Minnehaha in a minute. That's I hate it when we're just
366.
2 minutes late.
Clear assisted 31453.
I had great training officers when I came on too. During my field training program, I had Mike Gansel, Ken McIntosh, and Bob Olson.
Awesome. Yeah, Mike Gansel's son works here.
Yes, he does.
Still. Bob Olson was a classic. Was that in the old? Would you go through B4 with him, or was any?
That was in. That was in B4.
Kenny McIntosh. Everybody remembers him. He did a great job in the old B5 district. Well, we're gonna just put a little lights on and get there a little quicker. We're a mile away from where the perimeter is. We're eastbound on Minnehaha. I gotta say, just because I started here, when I'm on Minnehaha University, I just feel at home.
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't that amazing?
This is where I worked the bulk of my career, was Frogtown and up to the Midway. Worked with Joe Flaherty for, 15 years as the Frogtown car. Squad 135.
Yeah, he was a classic too. Still is.
Absolutely. Squad 135, the Hallmark car.
Yeah.
When you care to send the very best.
Should be assistant. Put us out near Cook and Frank. Sorry, lost him.
You remember, of course, the Daryl Olson. And I think he worked with Rick Klein a fair amount too. And I know we mentioned Rick Klein, but his passing here in the last couple weeks.
He was in my academy class.
Yeah. Awesome cop.
Yeah, he was.
All right, well, I don't know if they took the perimeter to a different channel or if it's just nobody can find them, but we're gonna. I'm assuming Victoria is the western boundary, would you think? Since
looks like it.
But then somebody said Milton, so.
273. This will be supplemental report. Going back on the nearest park detail, please.
So we got a lot of squads here setting up a perimeter, looking for Willie McDaniel. 5'11", 250 pounds.
Bravo 788.
We're just gonna find out. We're just gonna find out for sure the perimeter is, and then
We have a car close to 9th Robert.
We're gonna start going through the alleys.
I don't have a vehicle up here.
So we got Victoria and LaFond.
537 GOA. We can head up there. What are we looking for?
Edmund and Victoria.
Mike, go to 4.
All right, my friend. Hey, where is the perimeter now? What's the perimeter here? Is it Victoria?
Yeah, if you could go Victoria and Blair, maybe.
What's the eastern perimeter?
The eastern gets to Grotto. Goes into Grotto, you start running west, south, and then you turn back. Hey, back.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you went back north.
She thinks that maybe you went north, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna beat the alleys.
Gracias.
Thank you. You too. They're always surprised and happy to see you, Pat. All right. Well, I hope he didn't get too far north. Stop here. I'm going to call one of the people and just figure out what their plan is here.
The 537, we're going to be out with 1 at 7th and Robert.
7th and Robert.
I'm out with 537.
Bravo 788. I'll be out with this guy with the other cars here. 7th and Robert.
No answer. So we're going to work the alleys, but before we get there, I remember a young boy was killed, got run over here at Grotto and Thomas. Do you remember that, Pat? I think you were on the street there. But that was the final straw before they put the basket weaving in for, you know, you have to stop every 2 blocks. There were no stop signs here on Grotto and Chatsworth every 2 blocks. It's called basket weaving. But
it's made a big difference.
Yeah. So the little boy got killed here crossing the street, and the car left. We never caught the driver. You want to talk to anybody here? You think she's here or not?
361.
Arlene, or?
Oh, we can just keep cruising.
Echo Charlie Golf 253. Just for the future, Echo Charlie Golf 253. So we'll just hit the alleys?
Yeah.
It's like all the attention has caused people to leave. All right, we're looking for a 5'11", 250-pound black male named Willie McDaniel. And so far, no one's really beat these alleys because the dog's working door to door. But, so, stay alert, Facebook friends. Hey, you got that side?
Yeah, trying to run the plate too.
833, is there an update on the track?
Looking for an update on the track.
Yep, we're working the alley behind 763 Edmund.
Oh, there's south.
I'll be working alley behind 753 Edmund.
But then she thought maybe he got across Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So this is LaFond. I'm not sure, but it looks like this is the northern perimeter. I don't know.
Yeah.
In between those houses, I guess, just to see what's ducking down here. We'll go in this alley. Now we're north of Thomas. They're searching the alley on the south side of Thomas, but the gang officer wasn't sure if he was able to get across Thomas. He ran south at first and then cut back to the north. Probably actually tried to cut back to. Oh, there's a big guy right there.
Did he duck back?
What was he wearing?
He's still
Where are we at? 722. Would you recognize him?
Yeah, that's not him.
How's it going?
Baking a cake.
Baking a cake? Who's the birthday or what?
Baking a cake, baby, and coming from the liquor store.
Yeah, we're looking for a guy that's been running through your alley. You see him?
Black guy with a hoodie, let me guess. How did I know? Don't shoot him.
He was a lot heavier than you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He eats a lot more cake than you do, I think.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I think he's just a fat ass and I'm game weight.
There
you
you
look like
go.
you're in good shape. You work out, don't you?
Game weight, just like a pit dog fighting.
You will.
They run the treadmill.
What kind of work? What kind of work? What?
Game weight, so they can last longer.
What kind of workouts do you do?
I lift big, sexy women that look like horses. Got one right here. Love you. I'm on a date. Love you.
Goodbye. That's her there in the car.
I lift big, sexy women. If you know what
You're gonna bake her a cake or what?
She already got one in her stomach.
Well, I gotta see her. I gotta see just to see. He's making you a cake, huh?
She already got one in her stomach.
Well, very good. Congratulations.
Make sure you tap that beer a little bit. Don't open it right away. It's gonna fizz all over you.
We're gonna click them together like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right, then.
You are a wrestler, aren't you?
How did you know I wrestle a lot of weight?
Yeah, that's good. Where'd you wrestle at?
WWF.
Really?
You didn't see me on TV?
No. But you look like you're in good shape.
I'm on a date though.
I hope you cheat. Well, this is kind of your entertainment.
No, it ain't like that. I'm getting pissed off now.
Okay, goodbye. See ya.
Love you too. I thought I caught a little glimpse of something just past that blue SUV.
In here? Okay.
Yep. I know we were just down this alley once, but
That's when they come out when they see you drive by. Figure you're not coming back.
no, maybe I didn't.
Well, it's definitely a good place to hide.
If someone was 612, go to 4.
Request 36177. 833.
Going to 4.
29.
Well, we should stop and say hi anyhow.
Sure.
How's it going? Favors here today, the owner? Don't you hate when they do that? Don't you hate when they do that? When they make a joke and then you're thinking, uh-oh, the cop might take it seriously.
I think he's got you covered.
You got a cigarette?
Yeah.
You got Pat's got one. I don't smoke them.
What kind you smoke?
Fully leaded, man. Winston. You don't look like a George. You look like a Georgian, maybe.
We're just handing out cigarettes. You guys want any masks? I got a stash of masks.
361. Yeah, we're not pursuing, but the car just took off northbound Arcade towards Maryland. High-rate speed.
Copy, took off northbound Arcade towards Maryland.
The white HHR now is going eastbound Maryland. We're not pursuing.
Copy, white HHR, eastbound Maryland, not pursuing.
Gang car.
306, I copy.
2011.
Well, I don't know.
At 361, still going eastbound, passing Forest. We're at Lake Mendota.
There's the dog.
Hey, are these guys fast or not? Tony, how's it going? What's the latest intel? Are we still searching or not?
No, I think we're going to be done. I bet you he got picked up by the ladies he was with.
Okay.
He doubled back. Ended up Thomas, maybe north of Thomas, and then probably got picked up by the ladies that he was with. So.
All right.
He's still on the run.
All right, very good. We'll look for him.
Good to see you, gentlemen.
See ya.
See you, Tony.
So Willie McDaniel has escaped for tonight.
833.
833.
Thing about the justice system is
Break the perimeter down.
the wheels of justice
Copy,
sometimes
Squad can break the perimeter down. You still want the air?
turn slowly, but they always keep turning.
Yes, they do.
Copy, canceling the 10-1 at 2013.
The warrant's not going to go away anywhere. I stopped a guy one time that told me the best way to speed and not get caught by the cops was to have a Domino's pizza delivery sign on your car.
That is a torrent right in front of us. Isn't that it? Is that it? Is CBC 544 it? Hang on, Bob.
Copy, 2013.
That's CBC 544. You mean the one that we were looking at before?
Yeah, I can't remember the plate.
Gentlemen, how's it going? Yeah, I
166.
think it was CBX, right? But was it blue or was it white?
This is 160 on an alarm at 2185 Forest
Which
Parkway.
one? Sure.
Honorable covering the front door.
CBX 534.
Oh, okay. Well, I was 544.
That was a Pontiac Torrento?
That was a torrent. That is exactly the style we're looking for.
How's it going, partner? CBX 534. We haven't been to the east side much, and rumor is that car is probably over
164.
there.
Probably waiting for us.
164.
Can have you search McDonald's at 471 Marion on the 911 hang up? There's a female stating that the police were looking for someone that he's at the McDonald's and the phone disconnected. Voicemail and callbacks.
Was that 471 Marion?
I didn't catch it.
Well, we gotta go down there because it might be the person we were looking for. Let's get some McDonald's on you. I think she said 471 Marion.
Yep.
Hey.
Yesterday for shots fired on Manson. I believe it was like in the area of 16.
110, depending.
Oh, yeah. Female said we're looking for someone, and he's at the McDonald's.
361. Copy that. We're going to head up there.
175 at days in 1964 University.
Was Sean
a male that broke the caller's window, threatened to hurt him, and the caller's girlfriend left in a black sedan, black male, orange shirt, blue jeans, black backpack.
Is that what we're looking for?
On callback for further information, caller was uncooperative.
Is the one that she just mentioned? Is that what we're looking for? Or is that a different word? We got a name?
No, there's no name.
All right, so here, read this.
97310.
2016.
809, clear.
Something D. Walsh gave her. You know what it is?
Yeah. There was a video of a guy stealing some keys and checks out of a business up by Rice in Maryland.
All right. He's willing to turn himself in?
Yep.
Why don't you call D? You got her number?
No, I don't.
I'll give it to you.
Maybe. Should I wait till after we deal with this?
I don't know if the same phone car is going to get there. The thing is, I don't know. We don't have a name on this guy, right?
No, but the timing is right for it being our guy.
You think she's somebody?
Could be somebody who's been watching the live.
Yeah.
27, I copy route check in the area and is suspicious at Grand and Victoria. Caller believes he saw a male and a female steal a vehicle last seen westbound Grand. Oh, there's only a
Can we
witness
talk
at
to
2017.
Shanoa and see if he's still got the braids and everything? What do we got here?
164.
164.
We're going to keep trying the phone number, but on playback it sounds like the male was waiting for someone to pick him up.
Received.
2017.
Is that even open in there or not?
Not sure. And it doesn't say whether he was supposed to be inside or in the drive-thru.
No, did you call? Someone called us and said there was a guy here that was wanted. You didn't see anybody. Are you guys open inside?
No, our lobby ain't open. It ain't been open for like 4 months. I haven't seen no one besides 2 little kids out here.
All right, thank you. Thank you. There's a gentleman in the alley here. How's it going? Was Shanoa answer or not?
Nope.
That's really weird. It was this address, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how old the call was.
Good point.
Hey. Good, how are you? Thought you were sneaking up on us.
602 CN on the airplane.
7 minutes old.
602 CN 166495.
The male was waiting for somebody to pick
You're
him up.
welcome, 2019.
Okay. Well, can you hear me? Yeah, you're not on live, by the way. What description? What did he look like when you saw him? Did he still have the braids, or what was his? Okay. What color? Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Bye. Bye. Really long braids. Pulled back, kind of tied in his back, but really long braids, and
pretty much like the picture then.
And white T-shirt, blue jeans. Our guy, I think, had a car probably, huh?
164.
Sounds like they thought he did.
We're looking around. So far, we don't see anything. Is there any updates or any info?
Negative. There's no phone number history either.
911 hang up.
Copy, thank you.
You're welcome, 2021.
Probably get everybody away.
Yeah. Oh well.
Run down there. All right, we're gonna head up Rice Street. I'm gonna work on this other issue. Hear noise. I hear screaming. First of all, let's just both step back. We don't need the conflict, right? Well, stop touching her before she knocks your head off.
Fuck you mean? Stop playing with me. I don't give no fuck about you gay ass niggas.
Hey.
Bitch, that's not your cousin, nigga. Nigga, y'all dead, nigga. Well, fuck you, nigga. I don't see you.
Say, ma'am, you should walk away from him too, though. bus ain't coming on the time. Is she mad about the bus or what? Well, no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I know a lot of people are going to do otherwise. You were probably the first two officers that answered that question. I said no.
Who, would a friend of yours get shot or what?
A long time ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, we don't. It's, well, who killed a 15-year-old? You mean a gang or police?
In Chicago, but his family is up here.
Oh, you mean the one that just happened a couple days ago?
Yeah. And
That one?
That's just for raise here. You know?
Well,
very sad.
We're just.
We try to govern this so y'all won't have to.
Yeah, no. Well, you didn't see us jumping out of the car, right? You know, right? We're just letting you handle it when you can. You know, until people start wrestling on the ground. Well, I'm not in control of the bus, though. Are you in control of the bus?
I've not ever been in control of the bus.
This is Rice Street, Sherburne and Rice Street. Some people are unhappy that the bus hasn't showed up. Actually, you know, the delay in buses can cause anger. I don't know where the bus. Oh, here comes. Hey, here comes the bus. Bus is coming. Here comes the bus. Tell her the bus is coming. She better not miss that bus. Oh, you drove right by her.
Well, she was, well,
she walked away.
Shouldn't have walked away. We were doing all we could to help. Hi.
Well,
2024.
Wearing a white t-shirt. I copy.
all right, so
4334, is the vehicle clear?
The VIN is covered inside the vehicle. 279 is 10-8.
It's 2025.
I'm going to send you one of D's numbers.
This is the incident here.
Were they coming from 1783 Atlantic?
I'm not sure if it was a straight up theft or
I'm not sure.
burglary.
We were sitting on Duluth facing Larpenter on the St. Paul side, and they came westbound Larpenter, but I don't think they came from Atlantic.
This guy ever answered my question.
But I saw the driver turn and look at us, and as soon as we took out to follow them, he peeled out.
You want to check that car description?
Copy.
Maplewood call. Probably Larpenter.
7130.
7130.
Might be quoted as a traffic stop.
Looks like it's going to be a branch that fell on an electrical wire. It's smoking a little bit, but there's no flames.
Copy from electrical wire, smoking, no flames, 2026.
Is it Sophia and East Shore Drive?
Yeah, it might be. What is the nature of the call?
Please change this to a
left arrow.
Ward. It'll be clear report 910 42530 and everybody.
2020. Hit it again. I don't know it worked.
We're still on scene. Reporting one shot.
It says investigates.
083 Papa Hotel Juliet.
Copy, 2026. 303, building in Photo System, 26 Soto.
Vehicle flipped over.
Power saving female in front of her house, once revoked. The gray sedan, 2 or 3 people inside the vehicle.
4532.
Vehicle is unoccupied. Flipped over.
Admin
East
detail.
of Phelan, Sophia.
2026.
One in white shirt, one in white hat, gray sweatpants. Male driver fled through the yards on foot.
175.
White male.
Okay, you have the com step out to the front. Not finding anyone.
Received.
So that traffic stop probably was sort of related or something.
Yeah. Sounds like it may have been a short chase.
Yeah. They were trying to follow something.
164.
So
164.
deal with D here.
189 in the sheriff. You can send us 166 call.
Copy.
Bradshaw Funeral Home. These guys do an awesome job. They've buried a lot of people from this community.
187.
I saw Kevin from Dars walking down the street.
Chile, will you send me 1086 Sherburne? I'm on scene.
Gotta stay high to him real quick.
Copy.
Kevin, how's it going?
Tunnel at 2028.
Best
I saw your video.
Yeah, we're live right now. Best ice cream in town. Are
you doing the...
Yeah, we're...
Yeah, I saw you drive by. I was running.
It's about 83 seconds.
Yeah, look, about 15-second delay. Dars, I saw you. I wanted to come back. Were you watching it while you're walking or what? Oh, earlier. All right. Well, thanks for being a great community leader. We're going to turn down here after you cross the street. We're going back up. Thanks a lot.
442. I think I got one of our suspects. Did you notice in a second? 442. Edward and Marviner.
Copy with possible suspects, Edward and Marviner. And 2029. Fire to guys. Copy 2029.
Hey D, Pat Scott. Hey.
I spoke with him. He's no longer in scene and doesn't want to return.
Copy. Clear. SNR. And send us our
Right.
Motel 6. For the front desk, the comp is not a registered guest, has not reported anything to them.
Okay, is the...
5283 express copy, you can show square.
Copy 23.
So, what was the crime just a theft? Or was the business open, or what's the deal?
Copy one in custody.
How was soccer tonight? Good?
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, glad you guys had a good time. You guys, I watch you out here all the time.
Hang up 2088 Upper St. Dennis Road.
He wanted to race you.
Being screamed at by an adult.
Keep talking.
Huh? What kind of engine you got in there? V6?
Go ahead.
V8.
You want to raise him? He's good.
Heavy. Huh?
You want to raise him?
Nah.
They don't race.
No, we don't race. No, we just chase.
You guys chase our left.
Right? How many nights a week you guys play here?
Today was our first day. Couple days a week, like 2-3 days.
Yeah. Are you guys any good? Really good? Good soccer? You know Coach Ahmed over there at Riverside at all? You ever met him?
Okay.
I know, but I mean, he's a good soccer coach. He's what? Hot? Yeah, what part of town do you hang out at usually? Here?
We're from Sapo.
Yeah, good for you.
160.
Pull up sometime, so we can...
Yeah, we'll come up, pull up sometime, we'll talk. I'll bring some refreshments.
Yeah, bring some of your friends, they can play with us.
We're not any good.
27 UALP enrolled.
Gonna wait. Yeah, we like donuts.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
How old is this guy?
Well, we'll wait till there's ice out there, then we'll play hockey.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hockey.
Okay.
It's like soccer.
What time of day did this all happen?
He's trying to get it in the net, right?
I'll be around today.
Yeah.
A lot of the PC.
All right, well, I can block in traffic. I'll hang out here once in a while with you guys. All right? See you too. Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Strike one. You clear that one, you'll pick another one at 350 easily. Before. Copy, 350.
Go up to, can you go up to Park and Ivy?
Sure.
That's where this, whatever this crime was, occurred. And what's the name of the place? Safeway Transit? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna have an off-the-record confidential talk with the sheriff in a second here, and we'll see what the next step is going to be here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So please go.
Bravo 416.
I don't know whether it was. I don't know whether it was a theft
Have a good night at 333.
or a burglary.
160.
160.
But if we could pull over here and I could have a confidential speak with you.
Yep. We'll be right back. We're going to have a confidential conversation outside of the car.
188 traffic.
Sorry to do this to you.
188.
I'm going to eat my Twinkie while I'm out there, too. My wife doesn't have to yell at me for chewing while I'm...
And I'll have a heater.
Right here.
2362, clear with Ford.
2034.
I'm in the area.
Copy.
Three two to Young half, take 4. 4. Was that for 516?
Affirmative. Just advising there's a DOC at Billy's on Grand. There's a female fighting staff and customer's name of Jamie. Her 20 is 5'4", thin bills, black knee top, jean shorts, neon orange hat. Sounds like it's related to yours.
Thanks for your patience.
178.
By the way, at 9, we're going to have to stop episode 1 and restart it. I hope that when we restart it, you guys will...
Squad's 5184.
Well, it's totally up to you, actually. Hope you come back, but if you got to do something more important, this should never take time away from your family, that's for sure. The door's open there, Patrick. It's not your fault, but it never really closes.
The intersection near Lake McCurve Park for over several hours today. Did the same thing yesterday. Vehicle is a black Dodge Caravan. Plate is 745 Tango Delta Victor. No description of the male.
Pick that up. We're going to go to that call.
April, copy. 85 Tango, copy.
Clarence Park.
Thank you, 2036.
It's right up ahead here.
2362, copy tips and sent from Auto at Rice Creek Dog Park, 5959 Lexington Avenue North. C-Comp was waiting by a dark green/gray Tahoe at 2036.
Oh, hope my wife heard that call. Theft from Auto at the dog park on Lexington.
87.
Honey,
Checking squad status.
my wife is there pretty much every day with Rocco.
Copy, code 4. 4491 Tango, checking your status.
I do go once in a while, but it's usually my wife that likes taking them there. The theft from Auto there in the parking lot on Lexington by Rice Creek.
4491 Tango, checking status. 344, thank you. Copy. Code 4,
I know what
2037.
she's saying right now. She said, Sheriff, why don't you fix that? Right?
361.
What do we got from McCarran's? What's it say?
Okay, we've got a black Dodge Caravan, a male parked in a vehicle near the intersection. and Lake McCarran's Park for several hours today. Did the same thing yesterday.
Well, that's South McCarran's there. I don't see anybody parked. How old's the call, can you tell?
It is 8:29. I'm not sure if that's the dispatch time or the time it came in.
Well, let's just go in here and see if we got any black caravans in here first.
745 Tango Delta Victor.
373.
373.
Advise on 66. Check the area for that DOC on case.
I didn't see anything in South McCarran.
It says Gaultier and South McCarran. Sorry.
It's all right.
I saw that.
No problem. That's not it there. We will go. to Gaultier and South Shore. There's a lot of trouble coming out of these apartments, I gotta say. Well, I mean, obviously a lot is a very small percentage, but we do get calls here on stolen cars. We're on South Shore looking for a suspicious Dodge Caravan.
Edmund Farrington, Alpha Zulu Echo 7678, no BWC. 23.
Don't see anything yet, do you?
Nope.
So, here is Gaultier.
There's a deer.
Sometimes they park actually. That was a real deer. It looked almost like a statue there. He was so still. Alright, so a lot of times they park here in Gaultier and then they walk into that apartment complex right through there because they can't technically get through. So some of our suspects have been down here.
834. I'll be able to.
So we'll drive a little west, but it doesn't look like our caravan is here.
No, it doesn't. Is that a park or lake park facility there? Or is that a home?
I think it's a house.
Wow. Maybe it's a house.
Here's something. Oh. Geese.
Geese.
The cry of a goose. The cry of a goose. Beautiful McCarran's Lake here in Roseville, Minnesota. Not a lot of trouble. People out for a walk.
2415, clear Edmund.
2041.
Hello.
Hey, Moms Demand Action. Thanks for all your work. Thank you. You got the shirt on. I'm thanking you for your work.
536. We'll be out on another one. 221 East 5th, code 4. 2021. Bravo 485 EOT.
Have a good night, 2041.
Like when we get out of the car, then it gets busy.
Always.
And then when you're in the car, then it gets quiet.
Invariably. Like back in patrol days, you try and get out to eat, it's going to go crazy.
Yeah. Well, we didn't find the caravan. That's the Roseville car going to the call. I'll let him look too.
Just in case it pops back out.
Pops back out. Any viewers remember the old Stargate nightclub right across the street here? One of our deputies used to work security there. That's actually how we found him. We recruited him from the Stargate. Now one of our school resource officers does an awesome job. We had our share of shootings down there in the parking lot.
That was a busy spot for a while.
Squad 531. 531.
It was the lamplighter, the scene of one of our more recent homicides.
Covered properties in.
Sadly, there were 50 people in the parking lot when it happened, and no one has come forward with any information to solve that.
Right. Solid gas station, did that open yet?
I think so.
I was here the night of the riots and it was all smashed and people kept going inside. Looting.
Squad 2365, 2165.
Oh, here's the call, 2365.
65. 2165.
We had to CVS Pharmacy, 2650 Rice Street, the parking lot for 3 male juveniles, unknown age range, taking vehicles in the parking lot. One's wearing a red t-shirt walking across the street. All are walking on foot southbound from the address heading towards the Walgreens. Call would like an area check and to speak with the police as well.
Did she say taking vehicles or just...
65.
I wasn't sure whether it was taking or kicking.
2165.
Thank you,
Well, we'll run up there. That's our district. Doesn't sound like they were stealing. I wasn't sure if that was taking, kicking, or staking.
5084, select a clear GOA.
Staking.
2045. He asks, and then advise that there is a history of aggression between
Kicking vehicles.
Davis and the male party possibly has a knife. 9172 and 701 to copy your route as well. 9170, did you copy?
Where is that? Is that a white
9170, I copy. I'm on route as well.
This call that just came out?
No, another one. Just came out on Wayfair,
Okay.
91.
Copy at 2045.
Man, somebody with a knife.
Highway 90.
There we go. What's that?
At the Best Western.
9175.
Yeah, that is a welfare check.
9175.
Looks like they got...
Just to advise, caller stating that he's going to be hiding in the bathroom. The male part is attempting to get through the door. Suspect is described as a black male and is 56 feet, 180 pounds, wearing a red shirt.
Problem up there at the Best Western on White Bear.
The caller said there's a male that's trying to hurt him by the name of Pleasant.
Morning, we're close forward.
Sounds like a little mental illness, but locked in the bathroom with a knife.
Apparently there's a history of aggression between them.
Squad 279.
By the way,
1279 Belcher Street for a fireworks complaint. Caller heard one loud bang in the last 5 minutes. Shook the windows on his house, just requesting an area check. Only one caller.
Copy.
26.
Where's it?
one.
Strike one.
Strike one.
Advise on Central and Downtown Beat. We'll take a PPV at 1045 Hudson Road, St. Paul, code 4.
Strike 47.
I'm gonna run in on this kid's call at CBS, and then after that we got a 4-hour limits coming up for those of you that started with us at 5:11, and then we're gonna continue for a while. Sound good,
Absolutely.
Ben? And we'll start another block. Hopefully you're finding it enjoyable. When we stop,
Can I get the case number for
we'll get it going right away. And if you wouldn't mind,
835. My apologies. Case number is going to be 166536.
if you're not a friend or follower, you can just come to
Thank you.
my
You're welcome.
page, Bob Fletcher page, and it's open to the public. Feel free to grab it.
Strike one.
Strike one.
Advised, and one more please, 1067 Hudson Road.
Strike 48.
All right.
2365 area.
Didn't she say they were walking toward Walgreens or not? Whoa. There's the Domino's guy. See those Domino's guy?
Yeah, they did say they were walking towards here.
Well, I don't know. There's one of our squads. That's Roseville card check on their side. See, again, Larpenteur is the border. Or pardon me, Rice Street's the border between the county side and the Roseville police side. So the Roseville rolled in on the call. I mean, there's always a 2 to 3 minute delay, even at the best case scenario. That's one of the reasons we want Shot Spotter in the cities, because we get instantly notified. We don't have that 2 to 3 minute call in, and then we got, sometimes they don't call right away. Sometimes we don't.
On the south side, outside of the building.
That's the White Bear call, the guy with the knife, 91.
Coming out with the suspect on the south side of the building at 2050.
He's out with the suspect on the south side.
9170 in with him.
Copy.
And remember, just for review, somebody that have the 9,000 cars are White Bear. The 4,000 cars are Maplewood, 5,000 are Roseville, 2,000s are the sheriff's office, 3,900 cars are North St. Paul.
4483, copy. You took the theft up party time liquor, 1835 Larpenteur.
8,000 are New Brighton, 7,000 are Moundsview, and then all the all the 100s, 200s, 300s are St. Paul. Just a reminder for those of you that just joined us, when you're going out the supper
Our shooter is being described as a Dupree, light-skinned black male, short afro, I would say probably 5'10". He was last seen in mid-2000s, maroon, either Rendezvous or Enclave.
5165 there.
All right, we got a shooting incident in St. Paul. Gang units out there. Just said he left in a maroon Enclave. Got a description.
361. Copy. Shooter's described as a male named Dupree, light-skinned black male, short afro, 5'10", driving a mid-2000s Rendezvous or Enclave. 2 other occupants, 1 heavy-set black male with twisties and a dark male with braids. 2052.
So Emmerich, if you got any pictures of him, or Joe, if you got any other addresses to be checked.
Hey, if there's a free squad of 2, head in this direction.
324 advise the road. 324 copy.
Was that strike one?
I think it was the gang strike force was 835, I think. 835 is in the west sector, so it probably is one of the 100 calls.
2362, clear report, 70 next.
2362, copy.
We are going to shut down, and then we're gonna
Congress Street at Dunn.
things are definitely getting busier.
Outside the address.
Hope you join us.
Yesterday as
We'll
well.
be back
Described as a
in
black Acura, however,
just
the
a
back was black,
moment.
like the BS300.